I would say hi to Copper.
Hi, Copper.
Yeah,
Copper was
Copper.
hello.
Copper.
Was in every.
Uh-huh.
I think he was in the entire stream last week. He was just chilling on the couch back there sleeping.
He's having a good time. But hello, we're back.
I would let my cat in here, but
We
she's
are
a bitch
back,
and just yell at me.
baby.
That's normal. The regularly scheduled things. Just making sure
On time.
everything is
Not at 8:15.
relatively on time. We're like 10 minutes late, but it's
relatively on time. I consider 10 minutes to be on time in the streaming world.
That's right.
It's not
pretty fair. Something.
It's not like anyone's watching this anyway, so.
Just like when your boss sets a
my
meeting, you
friends
show up
watch
10
this.
minutes late.
I'm glad.
Plenty of people watching.
Brendan, what's our streamer numbers been like?
I don't know. I don't really look at the analytics very often, if I'm being honest.
One or two.
It's -3 sometimes.
I'm always redeeming the emoji and adding finger guns to it.
It is pretty funny. Something about Mega Man with finger guns is funny.
Mega Man with finger guns.
Bam! I got it unlocked again. Let's go.
Oh, dude, no.
You know what you should do for our avid viewers, Ethan? You should have them design our next encounter enemy.
Oh, that sounds horrible. That sounds like
that sounds like TPK waiting to happen.
Be like, you guys are going to go up against a Death Knight with the stats of Tiamat that's invulnerable to every attack except force damage.
A Tarrasque.
Force damage, you say?
Force damage, you say? As a warlock, I am not
I watched a
concerned.
very interesting video. It was by a YouTube group called the Dungeon Dudes, and it was like the like strongest 5e monsters that you think are great and aren't, and the Tarrasque was their #1. They basically said that it seems super powerful, but you can kind of cheese the shit out of it if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, they're really not that busted.
How do you
look at their
cheese
stats?
I don't remember. I'd have to rewatch the video. It was like
please tell me how to cheese.
How to cheese the Tarrasque.
I just love the Tarrasque sends a return. It has the return to sender ability. That's my favorite thing.
My favorite is the Scroll of Tarrasque from Icewind Dale, that if you find, it just summons one, and it just begins to rampage throughout the land.
Mine is the deck of many Tarrasques.
Yeah. It's like one of the ends of the campaign is you can find this stupid scroll, and if your party's dumb enough to use it, it just summons a Tarrasque in the middle of the Icewind Dale, and it proceeds to destroy everything in its path.
That's great.
So yeah, there's a nice little Icewind Dale spoiler for everyone. I hope you all enjoyed that. Next week we're going to be spoiling the ending of Tomb of Annihilation. We hope you'll be there to join us.
You kill the Lich. The end.
You kill the Lich, who is Asarik, the Terrible or whatever his moniker is, if he even has one. So yeah, welcome to the Elyssia stream. As always, you are on the 17th episode now, everyone. So applause. We've made it. We've made it 17.
It is 17. I was
glad for everyone watching. Glad you're here. If you like what we do, follow Renakai5, aka Brendan, because he does other streaming things. He's playing Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered. I've been watching his VODs on YouTube. It's been fun.
First one's pretty cool.
Pixel Remastered.
Yeah.
If you really like what we do,
because they made a bundle. So the one thing I wanted them to do is bundle all of them.
Which ones did you get? Did you just get
all 6. You get all 6 for the bundle.
Oh wow!
It's like $80, but all 5 and 6 aren't out yet, but they'll be up soon.
A little expensive considering the age of the game.
When they sponsor us, we'll get a promo code.
I'll gladly take a Square Enix sponsorship. I love Square Enix. They make great games.
Brendan is giving away one.
I am not giving away anything. I am giving away free content. Is what I'm giving away. You can watch me play the game.
Ethan is just trying to be muted so hard. He's just
I'm surprised Brendan hasn't muted me for the entire stream, so you just see my stupid fucking ugly ass face just blabbing and nothing's coming out of it the entire time. And you guys are just all like, this is the stream now.
It could happen.
You're unnecessarily harsh on yourself there, bro.
Nah, that's okay.
Yeah, no, that got really weird.
Did it? Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, it got really weird.
All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and let me get some music going, and we will dive on into today's session.
Today.
The
sesh. Oh, there we go. Go up here. The only thing I don't know how to do in this new bot is loop the music, and it makes me very sad.
There's probably a command for it.
I try loop, and it doesn't seem to want to loop. It wasn't looping yet last week, so if the music cruds out, I apologize. I will attempt to loop it or figure that out at some point. Anyways, So last week, you guys, I'm trying to remember what happened at the start of last week's session. Eric, you're the note taker. What happened at the start of last week's session? Because I remember what happened halfway through it, but I'm drawing a bit of a blank now.
Question.
There you go.
So,
That should loop it.
Let's see where
Thank you.
we're at.
The /replay
Here.
command.
Sweet.
So we talked to Liv.
Or
that was
whatever
the week
you want to use.
before.
But, yeah. Whatever he's programmed to use.
So it was after. Okay. So we spoke to I'm gonna go blank out his name again. The head of the Servants Guild. We went.
Oh yeah. We talked to the Servants Guild.
Brizzle Hammerhead.
Frizzle.
Yes, we talked to Brizzle. We told him that what's her name is dead, and that they know that they're spies. And he got all like, "Oh, I knew we shouldn't be doing this." And we're like, "Yeah, it sounds about right, actually." And then he waived our fees, and then we asked him about the hooded figures and other things, and he didn't really have anything to tell us. And I think we just went. We found out about the scarecrows and just went straight over there, right?
No, we went. Yeah, we went to the commander.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked to Cromley, and Cromley talked about how there's been some trouble going on in the nearby village.
We tried to get information about the hooded figures, and he says they're not a real issue. The real issue I have is that Nugs keeps sending me gigantic, huge pamphlets,
1,000 pages of nothing,
nonsense information, and then he also told us about Pleasant Water.
Yes.
We stopped by Elise, right? After that, on our way.
Yeah. We
over.
stopped at Pazos because we encountered her, or we encountered oh god, what's his name?
Morelli and Joel.
Yes, Morelli and Joel walking by on their not date to go get knives sharpened. And then we stopped at Pazos because he said he'd give us free pizza for Darian since he was feeling not good.
Yeah, we
Darian
made
had
sure
a
to
cold.
stop there and get Darian free pizzas, and Joel hadn't
delivered them yet.
Bargain, so we really harassed him and teased him about his date. And he made sure to give you pizza for Darian.
Yes.
And then we carried on our way to Pleasant Water, which we ran into Sir Destiny.
Wow.
Yes.
Which, if Matt Allen wants to fill us in on what happened then.
His favorite brother.
His favorite character of the campaign, Sir Destiny.
Yes, so Sir Destiny, in the town were these mysterious injuries and one disappearance, if I remember correctly.
No disappearance, just a bunch of injuries.
Just
a bunch of injuries. Yeah. A bunch of injuries were happening. No one knew what were going on or why. And a traveling faith healer by the name of Dr. Destiny was there, charging the town for his wonderful healing services, which was super fun for Jamie.
Yes. Very awkward. We interviewed a little kid who was injured, paid him for all the information he provided us because he was very helpful. We continued our investigation after that. Even though I will make the distinction, Dr. Destiny did take the gold coin from the little boy, which I was totally offended by. But regardless,
well, he didn't take it. The little boy offered it to him. And
he received it, and that's just the little boy didn't know any better, and he was a bastard. But anyways, we carried on and found a little bit more information about where the boy was attacked from his little thing and little Miss Thing, and then also his family home where he hit it because he proclaimed he hit it with a club. We did some more investigating work out in the field where he was attacked, and Jamie discovered quite abruptly that it was the scarecrows that were possessed and were harming people. And we proceeded to defend ourselves and to murder all the scarecrows. And that's right when we ended. It was right after we killed the last
we went incredibly late last week and ended pretty much right after the encounter. I didn't intend to take like an hour. But yeah, great encounter. Left everyone pretty beat up. And that is where we will pick up tonight's session. Is you guys are out in the fields here in Pleasant Water. They're farms. And refresh my own memory here. I believe some of you are down still. No one is down.
No one's down.
Jamie did help everyone back up, but everyone is definitely
resident doctor.
We're beat up though.
The doctors helped everyone up. You guys are battered and beaten though, pretty much. I don't think anyone got out of that battle unscathed.
I am out of spell slots too, which is really fun.
Both me and
I still have. I have me, Arthur, and Darby. I still have I can't use kits for until tomorrow, but I can use one for Sentinel if he wants one, or we can just do the thing.
I'm at like half health, so
Yeah, same.
I'm should be all right, unless we
get into another fight.
Yeah. Which at least right now, I think we'll be okay.
Yep. So, what's the plan?
Well,
Get hay and pumpkin up.
It seems we've found our assailants.
Yeah, should we let the village know they're at least safe for the time being? I don't know what came over these scarecrows and why they decided to attack people, or if anybody has an experience with something like this, but at least we figured out
some
what
sort of magic, obviously.
Yeah. Question is who?
Jamie brings up a very good point, which means I will allow him to make a Arcana check for me.
Dang. I was actually gonna ask if I could do
Symbol
one.
of the beckoning.
Would you, Darby, if you're going to ask, I will let both of you guys do it as well. Both of you may make an Arcana check for me.
I was gonna lead into it a little bit.
I got 12.
I will definitely make one.
A 12? Darby, what did you get?
An 8. Not as good.
All right, so Jamie, you discovered this. So in the remnants or aftermath of the scarecrows, you kind of are digging through the tattered remains of cloth, pumpkin, and straw. The odd claws or tendrils that attacked you guys has seemed to almost dissipate into a slimy, dark liquid that when you kind of examine or almost run your fingers through, it almost feels like a sludge, but the longer it remains, the quicker it begins to dissolve and to disappear. You get an incredibly dark energy that comes from it. Even though you're not even magically inclined, you can feel the dark energy radiating.
This is just magic. This is
Door magic. Okay.
Some dark kind of magic. I don't know much about. I don't know like all the little bits and bobs of that kind of stuff, but recreating a circulatory system is not an easy thing to do.
Darby would like to use prestidigitation to create a small vial and see if he can scoop some of it into that vial and see if it'll stay there.
You can use prestidigitation to make a vial?
I mean, I can create small little trinkets, so...
Alright, I'll allow it then.
Yeah. You can create non-magical trinket or an illusory image.
The moment you scoop it up, you have it in the vial for a second, Darby, and it quickly dissolves and dissipates into nothing.
So even in a vacuum.
Yeah. I'm hoping to be able to see if someone could look into this a little bit more.
Yep, it's certainly not medical. That much I can tell you.
Well, when the dead bird parts started flying out of these things, that's kind of what.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little.
Something medical.
When the scarecrow got up and started attacking us, I was a little sure we weren't dealing with a medical phenomenon.
Yeah, weird things have happened.
All right.
Everybody okay?
Barely.
I remember going down and getting back up, but I don't know what happened in the interim.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all guess.
More bloodshed and more burning of scarecrows. Probably a lot happened.
We want to let
you gotta learn how to stick and move, you guys.
I do move. That's the problem. I can't let Sentinel go down because then we're all doomed. He's our only moral compass of the group when Darian's not around.
What are we gonna do with that Sentinel, man?
My only chance at a theoretical afterlife is that big bird.
No.
All right. We can check out. Go for it.
No, what are you gonna say, Sentinel?
Darby.
No.
We should go talk to the elder.
Yeah, and let him know that somebody other than his personal hero dealt with the problem.
Before we leave, should we burn these just in case?
Burn what? Aren't they dissipated? Like, DM, is there any ooze left?
The black liquid that Jamie had found has dissipated. The remnants of the scarecrow, the straw, some of the dead bird parts, the pumpkin, the clothes that they had put over the straw, those are all still there.
Oh, so what did dissolve into the black ooze? Just like a
Like nothing?
It was just a black ooze that had dissipated.
Huh.
So nothing dissolved into the ooze. The ooze itself vanished, and
Right. I was just asking, like, what did like the parts of the scarecrow turn into the ooze, or did it just seem to like seep from it?
It
Almost like
kind of
claws
seeped
did.
out of their
Possession.
Came out.
body,
Okay.
So it's like a possession.
like blood,
Okay.
almost like an oozy blood.
Could be a possession thing. Could be a lot of things, really.
Fair enough. Darby, you were gonna say something before we went to the Elder.
Oh, just if we wanted to burn these or not. I mean,
Oh.
I know the ooze is kind of gone, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good idea.
There's no
maybe.
reason why not to.
Yeah, I mean, other than it's the towns and they might be upset with that, but I feel like they won't care if we tell them that it tried to murder
These
them.
things literally just came to life and tried to murder
Yes.
them.
I don't think they'll
can't
care that
imagine.
much.
Only thing I would suggest is we do this outside of the field. That way the crops don't catch as well. We don't
I don't know
burn
where we're
their
gonna take them.
homes. Somewhere
In an
out
alleyway.
of the at least like cornfield or whatever field we're in, so that way we're not burning their livelihood. Part of their livelihood. I know it's mostly fish, but
So would you guys like to drag the bodies out of the field and burn them?
Yeah.
Okay. Check those out.
So everyone kind of takes a scarecrow or two and they drag them out from the field. Again, these aren't very large farming fields. So it's not like you have to walk miles to get out of this thing. It's, a 2-minute walk to get out. You pile them up. I'm assuming, Darby, you can use your firebolt to start a quick fire. And immediately these scarecrows burst into flames. The straw in them is incredibly brittle and dry. It catches without even a thought. And within seconds, you have a nice large scarecrow bonfire with smoke that billows up to the night sky.
All right, no more possessed scarecrows.
Does like a crowd kind of form of the town? Like we just kind of took care of the
yeah. So the
main
burning,
thing that has been.
It's gonna take about 8 minutes for this to completely burn away. That's how dry this stuff is. But because you have 6 bodies kind of piled up in this huge fire is starting, a crowd in the town does start to form, and people begin to kind of mosey their way out of the village to where their fields are just outside. And they see this pile of what looks like bodies burning off where you drag them, kind of maybe in the road or next to the road. And there seems to kind of be like a murmuring or a discussion amongst the people that are like, oh my god, like what happened here? What did they do with these? Like, did they kill someone or they burn? Like, what's going on?
just kind of look at Amy to see if he wants to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just probably explain to the crowd.
I say if you will, and I will.
I would usher them back.
Well, I would say real quick, what were you gonna say, Sentinel?
No. If we're gonna have Jamie, I think this is a good spot for Jamie to say something to the crowd.
Yeah.
Jamie, go ahead.
I would usher the people back. I would explain that I'm a doctor, and I would be like, the fumes of these bodies are full of evil or something, because I can't really judge the level of this town. So I'd say full of evil. You don't want to get that into your body. It's gonna really mess you up.
As you're explaining this, Jamie, to the few stronger looking men that have kind of come out to take a closer look, Elder Quinn steps out from the crowd, and he hobbles over on his cane, and he says, he kind of overheard you say this, and he goes, so you're telling me that these men are the ones who were hurting our people?
Not men. These were created. I'm not big into magic. I don't understand the arcane. However, these were manufactured facsimile of a body, used to hide in plain sight.
So they were creations of the devil, then, of Braska.
Jumping the gun a little bit, but
no. Some mage probably stitched some things together and with joints and all of the random magics in order to animate an inanimate object. It has nothing to do with the bad god.
You have been a light unto Pleasant Water. I cannot thank you enough. The light of Sir Destiny has blessed this town with these good warriors, everyone.
Oh.
They have been sent due to our fealty to the goddess. Her will be praised.
No.
No,
Don't
No,
accredit our
associated.
victory
we
to
are
him.
not. We are 100% not with Dr. Destiny. He didn't even think to look for this stuff. By the way, also, you people, if you have scarecrows, you should probably get the town guard before you go home and make sure that someone's there as you take it down and burn, just like we did here. We don't know how many more there might be.
You think there are more of them?
There could be more of them, yes.
Yeah. I don't know how many of you guys
Do you
have.
know who built these? Is like there a specific scarecrow maker in town?
No, the villagers, sometimes even the children put them together more for fun than anything else. They're scarecrows. They make them new every year after the winter months destroy the old.
Yeah, I just think, obviously someone knows, there's a mage. Do you have a mage in town? You have a wizard, someone who works here?
There's nothing like that. Not in Pleasant Water.
Nobody close. What if you needed something magically done?
We would contact Highwater.
Okay.
Well, then I'm sure Sir Destiny would be able to do some magic for them.
No, he doesn't do rid my town of monsters.
I'm sure he would.
Mostly
If he
just
paid
comes
him.
in.
Yeah, I'm sure he would if they donated him enough money for it.
Can I scan the crowd to see if like there's anyone kind of lingering, or like anyone who kind of is looking suspicious, trying to
Give me a perception check,
see kind of this spectacle? 16.
So Sentinel, you've been kind of scanning the crowd to see what you can see, if there's anyone odd, anyone who looks like they're disturbed, not disturbed, but like shocked that this was discovered so quickly. And it just seems to be a bunch of scared, confused townsfolk that make up this crowd.
Is Sir Destiny in the crowd at all?
Sir Destiny is in the crowd. He is calming people right now, telling them, and obviously reveling in the fact that the Elder has attributed much of this to the goddess, in which he is very much like, yes, everyone, the goddess is good. The goddess is wonderful, and she has provided so much love and so much joy. The fact that she brought this group in here to take care of this terrible and horrible thing.
No goddess brought me anywhere, just FYI.
Nope.
Mostly because there's nothing there. But
And Jamie, since you've been doing the most talking, Elder Quinn, he kind of hobbles up to you and he goes, I talked to some of the townsfolk, and we have put together a reward for those that could deal with the problem. We originally thought to donate this to Sir Destiny, but you did fix the problem and will prevent more injuries. It isn't much, but it is for your group to share. And he offers you 10 gold pieces.
I will be like, yeah, I will see if they are gonna do that. I appreciate you giving us this. I really don't think you should give any more money to Des.
Well, the townsfolk came together and this is what we had agreed upon. I know that it is not much, but we ask that you take it from us.
I mean, I won't take anything from you at this point, but I'll send it over to the rest of these guys. Some of these people work for tips, so.
If you would, I would appreciate it.
You really should save, your money. The winter months are going to come at some point here. You're going to need supplies, especially if your crops are something happened to them.
Well, okay. If none of them want it, we will take it back and invest it. But it is yours first, per the town.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and tell everybody, here you go. These fleece people have 10 gold to give us. You guys can split it amongst yourselves. I think I'm good.
I'm not taking that money.
In fairness, it's better in our hands than in Des's hands.
You're not wrong there. I just
And
don't feel
I
like
have
I'm
a small feeling that they'll probably end up giving it to Des, whether they want to or not.
Yeah, but then that is their choice. I'm not.
Is it really their choice, though, Jamie? Is it really their choice?
Yeah. Yep, it is. Unfortunately, people are gonna believe whatever they're gonna want to believe. Unfortunately. And if Des is gonna exploit that, well, the best thing you can do is just tell them that that's not how it is. They may choose to invest in this town
and in themselves. By taking the money, you rob them of that choice. It's tenfold.
No, it's not a lot.
Sentinel, do you have an opinion?
I would not choose to take this. Sentinel would rather. If they're losing money and giving it away to lots of other people, in this specific situation, Sentinel wouldn't take it.
Darby, you can take 8 gold and I can bring 9 back.
No, I'll leave it. I don't wanna. If they want to be foolish and give away their money to some charlatan, by all means. It's their coin, not mine.
To the person, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, we talked it over. We will be taking this money, and I'm hoping that you are able to do us a favor."
What would that favor be? Anything for you?
I'm glad you said that, because I'm now going to give you this money, and I want you to invest in just things for the town, new like farming equipment for the farmers, maybe even have a priest come in and do some cleansing or whatever the frick you guys do for the area, but just spend it on yourselves and don't give any of it to Destiny. That is our only condition.
You are truly a blessing from the goddess, regardless of how you personally feel about it. We the town, we appreciate this, and your request will be honored. This money will be used for the town. It will not go into the coffers of Sir Destiny.
I appreciate that, and I really think that's a smart move. So, till next time.
A good day to you. You're free. Well, he says before you go, he basically says you're free to stay in the town if you'd like to for the night, or you can head back to Highwater.
Well, if you're giving us a free bed, that I will take.
I would rather stay here since it's already late than
get some rest.
Make the 2-hour trek back to Highwater.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone opts to stay.
Yeah.
The elder offers
foot.
The elder offers you his home for the night, and again, it's nothing fancy, but he's able to set up or have some beds set up for the 4 of you to get a fair night's rest where you guys can take a long rest.
Yeah. Long rest, baby.
Long rest,
while you guys are getting ready for bed, there is a knock at the elder's door.
Oh boy.
I'll wait to see because it's not my home. I'm not going to answer.
Yeah, I'm not answering anything.
What it is.
Eventually, the elder comes down and he answers it, and Destiny is there.
Oh boy.
I will sit up and visibly listen in.
Destiny kind of has some pleasantries with Elder Quinn. He goes, "Oh, Elder Quinn. Oh, it's so wonderful. The people are doing so well that I've been taking care of. And now that we have nothing to fear from the scarecrows anymore, I had just wished to speak to the group that had so valiantly taken care of the issue that you've been having."
Of course he does.
He kind of steps in and he walks up to you specifically, Jamie, and he goes, "Brother, in a few days I will be leaving this village and continuing my grand journey, my grand divine purpose for the goddess, and I just wanted to say that it was a blessing to see you again."
No, it was not. And honestly, good for this town, but you should really start to think about not stealing from people who are desperate, if you got a moment.
I'm not stealing anything. They freely give to the will of the goddess, and that is all. But I know I will never convince you of this.
It's a bit hard to convince.
I've seen enough shakedown artists to know what a shakedown is. That's all I'm saying. You would know that if you didn't decide to go believe with sick people and their only chance of health.
Well, you look at things your way, and I will look at things my way. The way of the goddess, mind you. Adieu, Arthur, Darby, Sentinel. It was a blessing to meet you all as well, and if our paths ever cross, may it be the will of the goddess.
I certainly hope they
Safe
don't.
travels and safe sleeps. Farewell.
Pleasure was yours.
And he doesn't really make much reference beyond what you guys say to him. He just makes his way out of the elder's home and back to the sick house where he is tending to the people he's been helping.
I don't understand how quickly that guy can move with his head so far up his own ass.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Kind of stick.
It's amazing those two are even related.
Yeah. You'd think.
All right. Unless anything else to do, you guys may take your long rest, get back all your HP, your spell slots, all that jazz, and have a fantastic night's sleep here in the small village of Pleasant Water.
Got all 2 of my spell slots. Let's go.
In the morning, you will make your way back to High Water, back to the Zafar Inn, where we're going to cut over to Darian real quick, who's been chilling the entire day, just hanging out with his little cold that he's got going on. So Darian,
there's like 8
you woke
boxes
up
of pizza.
Yep, you woke up with some sniffles. You woke up with a sore throat. You're like, I'm not gonna go out today. I'm gonna stay in. Oh boy, you did not quite expect what is prepared to happen to you.
Oh boy.
First, after the sore throat and the sniffles, your skin turned blue, like plum blue. Completely plum blue from head to toe. You even checked down there, and yup, it was blue too.
Everything is blue. His house, his car,
Like,
everything is blue.
Inside and
Outside.
We live in a blue world.
After you were blue, and eventually, kind of from the toes up, you began to reclaim your standard skin color. You started to sneeze a whole lot. But it wasn't just snot you were sneezing. No, it small fine particles of golden dust expelled from your nostrils, and whatever it touched began to float upwards until it struck the ceiling, including you. Because the moment you covered your nose to sneeze and your hand became engulfed in this powder, it began to float upwards, as well as your whole body. And currently, you find yourself manhandling the top of the Zafar Inn, or the ceiling of the tap room of the Zafar Inn, unable to get yourself down right now. At least you're not blue anymore.
I think I'd rather be blue. I'm gonna try to I blew myself. I'm gonna try to army crawl to a wall and kind of what's that gonna do for me? I'm just gonna float back up.
Lead shoes.
You have the fairy flu or something? You got Aster?
The Aster flu.
I will say this too, that anytime the sneeze doesn't seem to make things float for long, they eventually drop down. And they don't drop nicely, they drop hard. Like the moment it wears off, it just falls and hits the ground as hard as possible.
Okay, I'm definitely going to a wall trying to do some ladder action.
You keep sneezing and it keeps you up in the air.
Okay. I'm gonna... How do you even stop sneezing? I'm still gonna go to a wall and kind of ladder action a little bit. Maybe try to sit halfway up it or something, so that way the fall isn't as bad in case I stop floating. And then maybe plug my nose for a bit. I don't know.
All right, so you struggle to crawl/float your way over to one of the walls, and you kind of grab onto it to hope to brace if you fall, and you hold your breath. I'm gonna need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. 5.
You hold your nose, you grab onto your nose, Darian, and you hold it as much as you can, and you can just feel it building, the sinus pressure just building in your head, and finally it's too much taking, you just sneeze, and the sneeze is so great it sends you across the tap room to the other side. You bash into the wall, and you take 1 damage, 1 point of bashing damage from smashing into the side of the Zafar Inn. Your glittery boogers envelop the entire tap room, and the chairs and tables just begin to float around you.
I thought the inn was gonna start to fly.
Yeah.
And then there is a knock at the door.
I'm just gonna shout, "Come in!" as I rub my head.
The door opens, and coming in with 3 boxed and freshly cooked pizzas is Marilli, who was sent by Joel to deliver the pizzas that was promised to you by your party, unbeknownst to you. And she kind of comes in, and she realizes you're not there, and she goes, Darian, where are you?
Really, we have a predicament, and I may need some assistance.
She immediately looks up and sees you just floating on the ceiling. She quickly sets the pizzas down on one of the tables that is not floating and looks up and goes, what happened to you?
I'm not sure, but I need to fashion a mask quickly before I sneeze on you. And also, I need you to help me secure myself to the ground. There might be rope somewhere, probably in the cellar.
Okay, and she thinks for a second and starts looking around behind the counter for a moment, finds kind of a sack, like a sack you put flour in. And she goes, there's a sack that might help with the whole mask issue.
Excellent. I guess that'll work. Bring it here. I'll just kind of reach down as far as I can.
You're pretty high up. You can't, she has to throw it to you.
Just throw it here.
Merle rolls a 1, so she throws the sack and it just doesn't even get close. Let me try that again. All right, I'm just gonna give it to her. I don't even care what I roll. Yeah, so the second time she throws it and you manage to catch hold of it, Darian.
I was just gonna have her rub it on some snot or something and let it float up to me. Okay, I'm gonna try to I don't know, rip it a little bit so I can kind of fasten it here, but can still see, almost like Kakashi style.
You're able to kind of rip it, and there's a rope on it because it's a flour sack. You're kind of able to fashion it around your face. While you do this, Marilli quickly goes down to the cellar and does find some spare rope that she quickly comes back up with, and she goes, I did find some rope.
Good. Okay, so what looks solid in here? I imagine maybe the bar, the parlor at the bar, would have some solid foothold or something.
That should work. And she goes over and she quickly ties a knot around one of the spots in the bar where it'll hold. And she kind of looks down at it, looks up at you, looks down, ties kind of a mug. She takes one of your mugs, ties the mug to it, and lops it up to you, Darian. And you're able to catch it.
All right, I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna try to pull myself down, and then secure myself almost in a laying position at the foot of the bar, so that way it doesn't feel like the blood's going to my head, hanging upside down. And hopefully have her help me tie me there.
So you manage to yank yourself down, Darian, and you get yourself, where you want to be. You kind of explain what you want to do, and Marilli's like, okay, I think I can do this. And you guys very quickly fashion your legs and arms to the bar in hopes of holding you down. And Darian, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw for me.
It's a little bit better. 9.
You still sneeze.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, this time you hit Marilli. You sneeze right in her face as she's helping you. And she's like, oh my gosh. And then she slowly begins to float upwards. Oh, I forgot you had a mask on. So she won't get hit then. You're in luck. Because of your mask, she will not get hit then. Unfortunately, the mask begins to float and begins to pull your head up a little bit.
Okay, the mask comes off.
You see this sack of flour, of ripped flour, just floating up to the ceiling.
Alright, well, we'll proceed with the plan. And I'm going to tell her that while we're tying me down, I'm going to need a new mask. And point at the one that's on the ceiling.
There's a few flour
sacks. That sentence is amazing.
She's able to procure you another one from behind the bar. There's several flour sacks back there.
You're gonna tie me down. I'm gonna need a new mask.
I had to think about it for a minute.
I was like,
he says,
the fairy friend came in.
Yeah.
Joel mentioned that you were feeling under the weather, but I don't think anyone quite expected this. And He sent me over with pizzas, and pizza is not the type of thing that you should be having for a cold. It should be hot soup.
Well, the pizza is hot, is it not?
No, it cannot be pizza. I will be making you soup.
But is one of them a Dale special?
I don't know what they made you. They just told me to walk this pizza over because Elise was busy.
Look at the pizzas. If one of them's a Dale special, that's all we need.
If I remember right,
really?
I think they're all Dale specials.
I think they're all Dale specials because that's what they asked for.
It's okay. The smell of the anchovies will burn your nostrils out, so
It'll
you
just
won't be
kill
able to
whatever disease you have will be dead.
It will be murdered by the stench.
Oh boy.
It's like eating a spoonful of horseradish.
So
Okay.
yes, Marilyn looks at the pieces and she goes, they all look like Dale specials.
Okay, now, Marilli, I don't know about you, but this doesn't seem like a normal cold, so I think it's worth trying the Dale specials. You just want to bring one over
Okay.
here.
So she grabs one of the boxes, walks it over. She sets it on the bar counter behind your head and kind of looks at you and goes, how do you want to even try eating this?
Well, I just gotta not sneeze on it, and it should be pretty easy. So I'll just grab a slice. Where's the slice at?
She gets you a slice and hands it to you.
Thank you, and I will attempt to eat said slice of pizza.
You take a bite of the Dale special, and it is fantastic, just as it was before. But I'm gonna need another Constitution saving throw.
Come on. 12.
You manage to hold your sneeze as you devour the slice of pizza. Only at the end do you finally sneeze, hitting a lantern that hangs above the bar, and you slowly begin to watch it float upwards on its chain, held into place by the fact that it's bolted into the ceiling.
Now, Marilli, Dr. Watts isn't here, and I've got the pizza. It made me feel better, thank you. What do we do?
I actually have no idea. I mean, I know a little bit of magic, but I don't know if it can help you with your predicament.
Well, do you know how to levitate stuff? Just say the words backwards.
That's way too advanced for me.
No, it was worth a shot, I guess. Who do you know that knows more about magic and might be free this time of day?
Well, Jayla knows a lot about magic, but she's gone, obviously. No one.
Oh boy. I guess we just wait.
Like all night?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be all night, but I mean, you're in danger of being here. I don't want you to go like a balloon. You should probably wait outside. Maybe check in every like hour or two. I'll holler if I need you. Just make sure there's pizza on the bar here. And I think I'm tied in securely. I'm gonna tug on the ropes, make sure they're good.
They're pretty secure.
Yeah, I don't want to sneeze on you and then you have you floating up on the ceiling, because then we're really screwed.
All right, I'm gonna go let them know on the other side over there what's going on, and I'll be back, I guess.
Sounds good. Be safe. Thanks for the pizza.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab another slice. I'm gonna try to reach behind my head and grab it.
You struggle, but as Marilli leaves, you manage to get a hold of a slice and begin to eat it. It does not help your cold in any capacity.
But it helps my mental, and that's all I need.
He
Yep, so
feels
Marilli
better.
goes back over to
The
Pazos
morale.
and informs them that she's going to be out late tonight. When Dale asks why, and she tells him, you can hear him, Darian, laugh. His laughter carries into the high water night, far beyond the realms and outreach of the city, deep into the Vanatirian Peninsula. They even say that in the far northern kingdoms of Olin, you can still hear that laugh.
Oh my god.
Perpetually echoing in the mountains.
So the party, the rest of you guys, get up from Pleasant Water and head back to High Water in the morning.
Whew. Man, it'd
And-
be really weird if one of us was sick and sneezed gold powder that caused things to float. That'd be crazy.
That'd be
and
wild.
as
That'd be
Things you
awesome.
come up with.
I don't know.
As
It just came to me in a dream, you know?
As you return to High Water into the Zafar Inn after 2 hours of travel, you see Marilli sitting outside the inn in a chair, half asleep, just kind of slumped over herself, holding on to what looks like a broom to prop herself up.
I would like to kick the broom.
What's going on?
Darby goes up and kicks the broom, and she's like, ah!
Alright, it's morning. Time to wake up.
Oh God, thank God you guys are here.
What are you doing out here?
Yeah.
Did you go street sweeping?
Yeah, were you street sweeping with Nugs?
No.
Is that what happened?
God, no, not that again. Your friend Darian needs, like, a doctor because he was sneezing and his sneezing was causing him to float on the ceiling.
Okay, well, I'll go in and check on him.
He's tied to the bar. What'd you say, Arthur?
I said, doesn't everybody, I was sarcastically saying, doesn't everybody sneezing do that? But then when she said he was tied to the bar, I followed up with, was Aster here?
No, she wasn't. Though, I wish she was, because she would have much rather sat out here and waited than I did.
Oh, I have a
I'm
feeling
going
she
to go
wouldn't be
back.
out here. She'd be in there the whole time. And you know
I'm
it.
sure. I'm going to go and try and get some sleep before Joel inevitably wakes me up and has me work. Have a good day, everyone.
Okay.
And she just kind of slumps her way with her, dragging this broom behind her slovenly as she returns to Pazzo's Pizza. And as you guys enter the bar, you see Darian, still awake because he's been sneezing until about a half hour ago, tied to the bar.
Reaching
3
for
Dale
another
specials
slice of pizza.
devoured, boxes of Dale specials just eaten around him.
You really let this place
One of
Still
us
floating
floating on
now?
the ceiling, let's be honest.
There are pieces of pizza on the ceiling floating. After a few minutes, as you enter, Darby, one of them falls and smacks you on the head as the magic wears off from it.
Not on his hat.
It hits his hat. His hat is greasy.
Oh
Oh,
no. Oh god, I'm immediately just throwing that pizza off the hat and double checking over it and then doing prestidigitation to clean it off.
You clean the hat.
And I put it back on and just go, oh. Man, we leave for a day and you let this place go, huh?
I don't know what's going on. I'm concerned.
Like hell.
Yeah, you
Very
look like you had a
full,
great
very
night.
full.
I see you got our order.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know if I was intended to share, but it made me feel better.
So
No,
Darby's
it's
just
not.
gonna
It was
kick
all
open
for
a
you.
box and be like, yeah, you definitely got the order.
Thank you.
Nothing left in here.
It's the least we can do.
Very thoughtful.
I didn't know that it was this
Yeah.
bad, though. I probably would have ordered like 10 more had I known you were flying.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's flying. We're so uncontrollably levitating. Thank God there's a ceiling on this place. We paid to get this place fixed up at a good time.
Would you imagine if there's
be
still a
gone.
hole in the roof?
Can I do a medicine check to see if there is anything that I could actually do for him?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a medicine check, Jamie.
There we go. Whoop. We're looking at... That is a 17.
Okay.
Beautiful. So you kind of give him a quick once-over, Jamie. You check kind of his throat and everything, make sure. You can definitely feel some inflammation. You can see the physical symptoms of a cold that is subsiding. The weird magical levitating and the skin turning blue, that's beyond your knowledge.
Yeah, I can't help you out there.
Whoa.
But you might be able to help with an end of cold remedy, though.
I will do that.
It's starting to sound like you were cursed.
You
Right.
and your curses.
Yeah, I think your curse is acting up again. To really figure out what you did.
I don't know, I pissed somebody off, I guess.
As Jamie kind of says this, he quickly whips up a tonic of some kind with the ingredients you have around the Zafar Inn. That is a quick cold remedy to help deal with some of the symptoms that you are still experiencing, Darian. Would you like to drink it?
Yes, I will.
Tastes like shit. But in a few minutes, you do begin to feel mildly better.
Thank you, Dr. Watts.
So
It's
are we
been
just
very
supposed to
exhausting
leave you tied up
floating.
here?
Well, I imagine when the floating stops, it'll be fine. Unless
You
wanna
haven't.
get me
It's
up
been
to
about
some-
an hour since you sneezed last, so there's been no levitating.
Well then, if you would help untie me and be so kind. It'd be
Or
greatly
just don't
appreciated.
sneeze on me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk over there and like kind of like at arm's length try to untie him to stay away from it as far as possible.
I'm
Yep,
gonna
so
go
Arthur,
when he's doing that.
Arthur will immediately like,
I'm just kidding.
so Arthur is able to get you untied,
I will
Darian.
use my swords to my scimitars to then uncut him so that way we can
So you just cut him free. So Arthur quickly cuts you free, Darian, and you have obviously fragments of rope that have bound you on you, but you are now able to freely move about again.
All right. So I'll dust myself off.
Your sea
Check.
legs.
Check for any last slices of Dale's special.
There's a couple on the floor that fell.
Are they covered in that like pixie dust like?
The pixie
Water?
dust has kind of worn off. Well, no, there's still. I will say there's still a bit of a gold sheen to them.
Will his organs begin to float as he consumes it because it's touching the inside of his organs?
Are you eating it, Darian? Did you try one?
Now he's worried.
Does it look gross?
Yeah, it's been on the floor.
Well, yeah, but I
Probably
mean,
for
we're
a
in a
while.
time where eating food off the floor isn't that big. of a
I
deal.
mean, it kind of is glowing a little bit.
I think I'll leave it alone.
All right.
Anybody want to float? And I'll just like point to the.
Sentinel takes a bite.
I'm good.
I go over
Sentinel
there.
reaches down and takes a bite of the pizza. It tastes like floor pizza, Sentinel. And
Like
fortunately,
floor
you don't
pizza.
float though.
Homer.
That would be a
All you
sight,
have is the
seeing
taste of
you
floor
flying
pizza in
around
your
high
mouth.
water.
Oh
I
yeah.
would-
And
I would
regret.
pay serious money to have you fly above high water.
I mean, a
Sentinel.
chicken flying around high water.
That's what
Not a chicken.
it would be.
That's true. Not a chicken.
Magical.
Yeah.
At the least.
You know, I heard that you tend to sneeze when people talk about you. I wonder if fairies add a little extra to that, Darian.
Maybe. How was your guys' day?
We almost died.
Yeah, quite eventful. We got attacked by some scarecrows.
Yeah.
Met Dr.
Jamie's
G's,
brother.
brother.
Oh.
No.
You don't want to meet him.
Oh.
Yeah, no, trust
Nothing-
me.
He's got a cool
that's
name.
Better. Oh.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Destiny. Is this Dr. Destiny?
It's destiny.
It's just Destiny. I don't think
Not a doctor.
Dr. Watts would consider him a doctor at all.
No, he's not a
Be a
doctor.
doctor.
Yeah.
He heals people from
Anyone
money.
can claim to be anything.
It's true. You could be a nurse.
He heals people.
Nurse
from money.
Destiny.
He uses healing magic to swindle people out of their coffers.
Yes. All under the name of the goddess and her plan.
Very holier than thou vibes. That was
Yes.
a fun conversationalist to say the least.
Sounds like an interesting
He's not
individual.
worth knowing.
Oh well.
But yeah, when we were attacked, accosted by a whole bunch of scarecrows down there in the city, they were possessed or leaking some sort of weird ooze
something
and
weird.
attacking
Magic.
civilians. We met with the commander to kind of get that job if we can catch you up to speed.
It's got a bag of holding in it for us, so we gotta go
Yeah.
talk to him about that.
I hold a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, you can hold a lot of pizza.
Yeah. You could.
Joel has patented the original Piazzo's pizza portal using bags of holding. It
Yeah.
has been done.
Well, we need to hop on that.
I think we need to use it for something a little more important than pizza, Darian. Definitely keep a
Yeah,
couple
any-
boxes in there, but we don't need.
Anything else on the
Phil.
docket for today?
I don't
Uh,
think
Get
so.
our
I think
portal-
Well,
the
they're still
commander might
talking
have
to the
something
other
else for us,
guilds, but
yeah,
You have the
That's
guilds, you
about it.
also have the black robed figures in Old Town.
yes.
right. But we were
That's
told
true.
basically by the commander that they were just
Nothing.
people gathering, and they
Yeah.
haven't really done anything. We could investigate. We can investigate them, but that is an open quest. But from all intents and purposes, anybody with any sort of social status here has said that they're not. They have a better problem.
Out of curiosity, then, is that a side quest you guys want to explore? Because that's going to determine what happens here.
I'm sure.
I honest.
Like thinking about it, Darian
fix
would
up our
probably, or not Darian, sorry, Darby would, while gambling, would probably ask people about it and see what he can find out while he's gambling every night. But if he's just constantly getting they're nothing, they're just weird dudes, then he'll probably stop caring
Yeah,
about it.
if you have been asking, or if you do ask Darby over the next few days, they will essentially give you that statement of it's just some odd cloaked people that have gathered in Old Town, and they seem to have meetings of some sort.
And I'm sorry, you Dr. Jamie, you said something. You were saying something like that.
Oh no, I was just saying there's no need to bother people for just being different.
Yeah.
We'd be getting bothered a
people
lot.
Meet in hoods all the time. People wear hoods all the time. Maybe we've already heard more than enough racism in this town. Maybe if there are more than one dusk elf that wants to meet in service or tieflings or anything like that.
Yeah. Demon thing.
You don't disagree. The commander didn't seem to have an issue with them, so.
Well.
All right. If the consensus is that you will leave it be, we will leave it be then. You are free to go and get your bag of holding then.
I think that's the first order of business.
We do that.
Oh, that's definitely the first order of business.
All right. So after you freed Darian and you've had your breakfast of regular breakfast and floor pizza for some, you make your way to the fifth layer where you head back to the barracks where Captain Cromley is. You inform the guards that you are there after taking care of the issue in Pleasantwater. They very quickly usher you in to Cromley, who is sitting at his office desk again, seemingly filing more paperwork. What you do when you get to be commander? File a lot of paperwork. As he sees you guys come in from 24 hours basically after he first talked to you, he kind of waves you in and says, "Well, I'm assuming that you are here to claim your reward for Pleasantwater."
Indeed.
You are correct.
Yeah.
What seem to be the disturbance there? Ruffians, bandits, vagabonds looking for a quick buck?
Try possess scarecrows.
Scarecrows.
Yeah.
Possess scarecrows, you say?
Well, I don't know about possession, but I know
Yeah.
I think
Controlled
it's less
of
than
some
just
kind.
a possession of a scarecrow that was already existing, and more of someone created something to look like a scarecrow that was going to hurt people.
Interesting. I will send some of my guard down to Pleasantwater then and have them take a look around and see if they can see anything odd that's going on. More than what they did last time, mind you. Very well. I did receive word this morning of the issue being resolved. And I assumed it was your group since you're the only ones who came and talked to me about it. Pulls up the bag of holding and he sticks it on his desk. Bag of holding for you. As offered.
Sweet.
It's yours.
Why people take it.
Don't fill it all in one place now. He kind of laughs to himself.
Try our best.
Well, I mean,
We gotta see how many Pazos pizzas we can fit in that bad boy.
Joel usually, or I should say Joel, but Elise usually carries about 10 to 15 orders in one Pazos pizza portal.
we can
Alright,
definitely
cash
go more
in
than
all
that.
of our
though.
rations for pizza.
It basically depends on what she wants to carry.
How much space is it? 64 cubic feet of space for
It's a
pizza.
lot of space.
It
Yeah.
is.
It's a lot of pizza.
It's larger than some
It's a
apartments.
lot.
Yeah, it's
A
larger than
lot
some
of
apartments.
pizza.
You can get a lot in there. It's always a consistent 15 pounds as well.
All right, as you guys provide,
So-
or as you guys, but as Captain Cromley provides you with the bag of holding, and you have nothing left to do here with him, he says to you, "If there's anything that you need from the God of Highwater, let me know. Those who help us, see help in return.
Mm.
No.
Yeah.
Have a goddess-blessed day to the lot of you."
Well, I've heard enough about her for about a week.
All right. So the last thing left on the docket is to, I believe,
Butchers Guild and
We have Brewers Guild, Butchers
Brewers
Guild,
Guild,
and
Butchers.
Fellowship of Innkeepers.
yes.
beautiful. So the guilds
Um,
then in and of themselves are just guilds that will make your inn function, and they'll provide you different services as we've established. For the sake of the story and for time, we will go ahead and skip that because you're just going to go talk and sign up for the guilds, basically. And they will provide... Butcher's Guild is going to supply you food. Brewer's Guild is going to provide you drink. And the Fellowship of Innkeepers is essentially the group you have to join to run an inn, or else a bunch of muscle shows up and pisses all over your inn for the next however long you're in business.
Forever.
We just press the circle button to skip through the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yes, we just skip through the cutscenes with the circle button.
Just keep mashing circle everywhere we go.
Each guild costs 100 gold to join. So it'll be a 300 gold payment for that.
Well.
Alright, cough it up, guys.
Let's take a look at this.
I have 10 gold.
Yeah.
Well,
I have
don't think you want me to
27
cop
we
gold.
need 60 apiece.
Didn't we not get a
don't
bunch
got
of gold? Did we use it all?
Well, our big gold stash from the wonderful fight heist was dedicated to finishing
The
our
roof,
payment for
Yeah.
the tavern rebuilding. Because it was.
I'm not sure if I've been carrying
not much higher.
everyone's gold, but I have 681 gold.
Oh, you're
so
definitely not
assuming-
carrying my gold.
Wowee. I only
I
have
mean,
10 gold, so
I've got
I have
300, a little more than that.
so-
why are you guys loaded over here?
'Cause I don't really.
I take the money we're
Yeah,
offered. except
we
for, like,
we
killing
take money where we
people.
get it, bro. I
I'll
gamble
pay
like
them,
every
man.
day and get a little bit of extra. every
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
too.
Pay the people for the thing.
Okay. I'll spot. You want to drop 100? I'll drop 200.
Alright, that works.
Okay.
I guess.
Thank you guys.
You owe me some money though, Darian.
What?
Owe me 40 gold.
For what?
I owe you nothing.
You have picked me up
I owe
for
you
death a number
zero
of times. We'll call it even.
I use $0
No,
and
it's
0
fine.
cents because
I
this
suppose
inn
we'll
is
call it
1/5
even.
mine, and you're gonna have to deal with that.
However, there is
Bygones be
also
bygones.
the concern of who's going to hold the bag of holding.
Dr.
got
James held it, and morally sound character. I don't really put us at the top of that list there, Darby. So
Well, I mean, you know, you can
I
do
have
some
the
good things
bag
with
of
it.
holding.
my thing is like I can trust the three of them to keep whatever we need in it and not add anything extra that may be illicit. Not sure I can trust you to do the same thing there, bud.
Well, that
And if
might
it's
be
gonna-
able to get us a little bit of extra coin in there.
I'm not saying you won't, but if the said illicit item is then compromising the rest of said items, that becomes a me
No,
problem.
That's
So-
fair. That's fair.
Besides,
Have
I
you-
have out of everybody, I carry the most random stuff with me. If I could keep it all in
Yeah,
one
he's got
place,
health
I'd be
packs
able
and
to help you.
potions and stuff to be able to
That's true.
drop in when we're dying.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Let the healer have it so we can store all of his healing items.
We'll find you a side bag of holding. All right.
Eh, I might not need one.
A
So this
dime
coin
bag
is
of
getting a little
holding.
heavy, I won't lie.
A dime bag of holding. No, Darian's
Are
already
you
got one of
holding?
those.
Oh, I'm holding.
Yeah.
I'm holding, all right.
That's right. You could say I'm encumbered.
Hey.
Ooh. All right, so yeah, what's next now? We got our. It's gonna take at least a little bit for this stuff to work, right?
Yeah.
We're still gonna wait for the inn to
We're set
finish.
with our guilds.
And
We
the
got-
inn has about 5 or 6 more days before your dwarf masons finish work on it. So once
We should
once those 5 or
plan.
6 days pass and the Zafar Inn is given a new sign, one of the dwarves fashions a nice new sign for the inn that they kind of nail up onto the front of it. And you guys have a sparkling, shiny new inn, complete with fresh tables, chairs, bar counters, finished wood, fine beds, warm baths. The Zafar Inn, second layer of high water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You now have your inn, which you are able to open once it is done. I'm assuming that you will open it as quickly as you can.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe,
What
Jamie,
can I
you
do?
also let Elise know that the orphan children could come and stay in the inn as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I feel
we
like
should probably warn them that Sliva's gang will also be partaking in
Yes.
activities at the bar, and we would prefer if the orphans do not associate with said gang, because we don't want to basically be a hub for Sliva
recruitment,
of
yeah.
orphans.
Silver recruitment.
Yeah, we don't want to be the
Keep those
sliver
two-
recruitment
we're
hotline.
we're gonna keep those two favors very separate.
Yes.
Well, the concept is going to be like this, right? The orphans come in at night, and any room that we don't have booked up, they can just sleep in, and we'll have one of the servants just be in charge of like doing that relay. Like, oh, hey, come around the back knock on the door, and we'll get you a room.
I like that.
You guys are able to, because I thought this would be nice, so I kind of wrote it into the inn's layout. The top floor, like the attic floor, which has a couple rooms on it, the masons sectioned off into a bunch of rooms so the kids can use a ladder to climb up there to get to the attic, where they can use that entire upstairs area as a inn or as a sleeping spot. They can come and go as they please.
Sweet.
Sounds good.
I figured that was in the spirit of.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Where they can go and not have to deal with other people and just chill out.
Kind of something. Just what after you guys explained to the Masons what the inn was going to be, is kind of one of the things he thought about was doing something special like that. So it was a surprise.
I wanted to have a place in the basement, but I guess I didn't say that.
Well, you're in luck, Jamie, because I will just read my descriptive text here. The cold winter months have set upon high water. The goddess lake is now a slick sheet of ice. Many can be seen skating close to the shores. In the city itself, now that the Ice Festival, a bastion of wealth and prosperity for every business that calls this floating city home, has come to a close, high water returns to sleepy hibernation. Trade and travel reduce during the winter. The cold keeps most in their homes. Inns and taverns have really converted over to serving warm drink and hot food to the locals to stay afloat. In the past 6 months, Zafar Inn has managed to maintain itself. A steady stream of travelers and locals have opted to call your inn home, pushed upon by the friendly recommendations of one Pazzo's Pizza. At this time of year, most of the rooms remain occupied, having topped out in the mid-fall. But the flow of drink and food keeps things well situated. The attic, now converted into a few rooms, serves as a safe haven for many of the orphan children. Some come and go as they please, but they are always aware that there is a warm bed at the Zafar Inn. Per your last correspondence, Jayla and Asta remain stuck in Bridgetown. The situation continues to teeter along at a shoestring. She writes that she soon hopes to get free and claims the talks have opened back up. This is a good sign, as many more months of protests threaten the economy of the Vanatiran Peninsula. The difficulty in crossing the Grand Bridge has only limited travel to Highwater and Pragla. And here we find you, at the end of a long night. The last of the regulars have packed up and headed out. One flips an extra coin to you. As stated in the text, we have jumped 6 months in our game. So Jamie, I will say, if you wanted to set something up in the basement, like a clinic or something, you were easily able to do that in that time frame.
Yeah, that's like. So if people needed to, that would be the come around the back thing. Since the orphans have a ladder, my thing would be like, hey, come around the back. If you're sick and you don't have anything, you know what I mean. Just come here, and the payment would be. Just tell everybody that if they're gonna sleep anywhere or like an inn or something, that passport that there's a clinic down here, and also if you ever have anybody that comes in and needs a place to stay, have them come to the Zafar.
Yep. Jamie, too, I will say in the 6 months you were able to refresh your healer's kit, so you can recharge that thing to its full. I don't know what it costs. I think it's like 10 gold or something. Just subtract that from your coffers.
Yeah, I get 10. I get 10 from 10 gold.
In the 6 months, despite the slow season, the inn manages to maintain itself quite well. You have made 200 gold in the last 6 months. Only 1 month did you have a hit to the inn. All the other months, the inn managed to make a profit. Not a large profit, but a sizable profit that yields you with 200 gold that you may split amongst the party.
Do you want me to split
this
it
is the first time I've ever
keep it as like an in thing and just keep it off to the side in my notes?
I would need money to make sure that I still had all the medical supplies that I need downstairs for like any big thing.
I think we set aside money for that, and then as well as making sure that the orphanage part of the inn is well maintained, because it's not like we're bringing in money.
Stays nice.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, isn't I guess my question to the DM or GM is that 200 after all all necessary expenses? So this is just the extra.
This is 200 in core profits.
The running the business rules, depending on how it rolls. it covers all your expenses, and then you get a profit. So you
Okay,
paid all
so
your
so this
you
is
paid all your guild
Yeah,
fees.
it's just 200
you paid all
gold.
your servants' fees. You paid for food,
So-
drink, all that stuff.
So this is just
Are
cash,
there
cash
any
money now.
upgrades? Are there any upgrades that we want to do so that maybe we can make more money next time? Like more servants, more like better drink, better
I mean,
like better
definitely
food, like
over the 6 months, Darby would want to start to establish a little bit of gambling somewhere in the end on like the base floor and the bar. And
The
just
tap room
kind of
can
run
definitely-
that.
The tap room can
Yeah.
definitely be used as a small gambling hall, Darby, that you could have begun to set
yeah.
up in the next 6 months, much like Jamie set up his clinic.
Yeah. Darby would definitely do that and start
And
hosting his
of
gambling
course,
there as opposed to
Darby, actually,
Yes.
one sec. I'm going to go ahead and make a roll here for you to see how much you've made in your gambling here in the last 6 months.
Darby, what game do you
Ooh.
use for your gambling?
Probably mostly
Crap.
card games. So blackjack,
So in
poker.
In your card games, Darby, you have managed to make 68 gold pieces in the last 6 months.
Not bad actually.
But you know someone deserves a bit of a cut of that.
Yes,
don't you?
someone wants a little
So
bit of extra
you know what
money.
that cut is. You
Yeah.
make sure to take that out of there.
20% if I remember right.
Really, Gamar is not overly happy that there's 200 gold of profit sitting on the table right now, and he hasn't gotten his cut. But he hasn't said anything about that yet.
Well,
We'll serve Gamar.
So in
it's
the
not
last
my
6
fault.
months, it is going to be interesting. How has the party worked around the inn? What has been your job in the inn? And we're just going to go down the list here. So starting with Arthur. What has Arthur done around the inn? What has been your job?
So Arthur
At least
would
109 gold out of
probably
him.
take to food. So managing the cooks, probably teaching the cooks some things that he knows from being way long ago a cook on a ship, but also then learning from the cooks and learning how to prepare meals, but kind of managing the kitchen. That would be similar if he wants to do. One of the things I'd say that Arthur would kind of start to look into is, obviously there are expectations as to what brews are served here, but Arthur would like to start making his own custom like Zafar Inn drinks.
Sure.
Whether
you can
that be
definitely do
whether that be hard liquor or just ales. That's something that he'd absolutely try to pursue.
Arthur, I will say you haven't started yet, but in the next 6 months, because you've been interested and been researching that, you may gain proficiency in the brewer's tools on your character, if you'd like to add that.
I would love
Just
that.
as a heads up as well, you guys have 5 servants, 1 cook, 1 bartender, and 3 lasses who are the waitresses in your inn. All elven, or half elves, I should say. So Arthur has decided to work in the kitchen and learn how to brew alcohol. Darby, well, I think I know what Darby's
Well, yeah,
doing. Darby, what do
Darby's
you-
setting up gambling and cheating people out of money as best he can, while still being
So
fair.
Darby, yep. So Darby has set up his gambling hall, and he has prepped a whole lot of stuff for it. You've got about 4 tables of games running, and you get a motley crew roughly every night that comes on in. Sometimes the occasional rich traveler who heard about the famed pizza restaurant on the second layer and made his way up there only to be recommended the Zafar Inn as his place to stay for the night will come on in and plop down 50 gold pieces thinking that he's going to beat you at your own game, and you swindle him nicely out of his hard-earned money.
Of course he can't. Nobody can.
Darian, what are you doing here at the Zafar Inn?
Aaron probably mostly just cleans stuff up, helps keep the place tidy, but
You're
also
the janitor.
But also, I feel like we have a small little bit of open land, like out back. I don't know why, but Darian's feeling like making a little garden back there.
Okay.
You do have
Fresh
a very
herbs.
small plot of land that you could grow some fresh ingredients in.
They
Nothing
use the
that
grave
nothing.
of Liv to fertilize the
Yeah,
garden.
it's great.
Yeah.
Which in the last 6 months, upon
She should have showed
note
up
for that.
at some point.
Yeah, for that quest as well. The daughter didn't show up, but a letter was returned to her friend, which you were able to pass on to Liff, and he did pass on. So the inn is free of ghosts
For now.
Yeah.
for now. So going back to what you were saying though, Darian, you're not able to grow any like heavy produce, but you're able to grow a lot of herbs and spices. So the Zafar Inn has a collection of fresh herbs and spices that are homegrown, which
That'll be
Arthur you
awesome
may
for
be able
the
to
book,
use
yeah.
in your brewing.
Yeah,
That's what I
it'd
was
be awesome
thinking.
for him.
Very cool.
Dr. Watts, I think again we know what you're doing, but go ahead and tell us.
I have two things I'm doing. I'm running my clinic. Running my clinic, and then creating my orphan network of ears and eyes.
Okay. You do this pretty much through a lease, since you guys have seemed to have been pretty close.
Lease are tight.
And she's kind of able to give you the ins and outs and some names of several orphans around Highwater. Specifically, her kind of like right-hand guy, Grizzly, seems to know his way in and around. And it isn't uncommon to see Grizzly leaving the clinic late at night, only to scamper up the ladder and have a good long rest with the other kids up there. Anything else, Jamie?
No, that's it. I'm just establishing my little group here.
All right, and then Sentinel, what are you doing around the Safarian?
So as Mr. Kipps is kind of like the housekeeping area. My little gig is I'll be maintenance. Fix up tables and chairs and beds and reach up to the high places that the rest of the crew can't get. Fix windows and all those kind of things. Funny. And then
if you repair a damaged roof and the sun is rising, do you caw at it?
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful.
There's also my second job is in the morning crier. I just make sure that everybody's awake, gets their morning call to wake up call.
Get out of there. It's time to go.
No, but in his time in fixing things and all those kind of things, Sentinel also has found some enjoyment in being the tavern storyteller, and so I listen to stories of travelers that come in and out and almost not quite bard like songs and those kind of things, but tell interesting stories that we've heard along the way, and then I like at night I have kind of a special story hour we grab after everybody has kind of settled down and orphans have come in, that I have with our group of attic dwellers, that I have a little story time and tell them different stories of outside of this just Highwater, but things across Elyssia that we've heard.
Excellent. So Sentinel is repairing the Zafar Inn as needed and serves as not only a storyteller for the orphans, but as a general attraction for patrons to come and see. Why wouldn't you go to the second layer of Highwater and see the giant singing chicken at the pizza place and the giant storytelling chicken at the inn? It's a 2-for-1 combo that you have there. Which, speaking of your friends, Chicken Avenue.
It's the new Broadway. We got several shows. Just
Cluck Boulevard.
Which, speaking of your friends across the way at Pazzo's Pizza, you've maintained a positive relationship with them in this last 6 months. Though Joel is a bit obnoxious and over the top, he does actually quite care about his business, and the fact that your business is helping his business means he cares about your business as well. Pretty much, you have gotten into the business of sending each other's way. People come and eat pizzas. Oh, you're a traveler? There's an inn over there. You should go check them out. Yes.
Oh, that guy on the first layer, the potion guy. We talked about making really fancy drinks when our inn was up. Remember, I went to the potion guy and I said,
"Yes."
Yeah, way back. I said that we were gonna work out some sort of cross-brand potion thing, and maybe we could get a discount or something around that nature. I remember that.
Yes, I do remember this. So yes, you can get a discount at that potion shop because you allowed the potion maker to craft specialty drinks for you guys. Where he can kind of whip up something cool and make a fizzy drink that smokes and does all this other cool stuff.
Yeah.
Darby casts a little predigitation on it. It kind of flickers and sparkles all over the place. There's a little bit of fun.
Those are our wizard college nights where we have the people come in.
I have an entire drink where you just inhale the air and it's alcoholic.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Themed nights,
themed
nights.
Super weird.
Like Zafar, like Prince Zafar would have wanted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
The most obscurely themed things that no one understands. But
Fight
everyone
nights
still
and
manages to
all
do
sorts
it.
of crazy, man.
Fight heist! Fight heist!
Well, as the result of Fight Heist, one of your general patrons that come in are Sliva gang members, which you can tell from the symbols that they have tattooed on them. Darby, they like to frequent your gambling tables, which they also like to lose quite a bit of money at your gambling tables as well.
Well, they need to get better.
I want to be careful.
It's not a lose-lose situation, but there is the inn does have a bit of a rumor for being a place where some unsettling people have a tendency to frolic to.
Would I be able to do something to affect that rumor?
Yes, I would say so. What would you like to do?
With the orphans?
I would want to make it more of like how the gangster bars were in the 50s. Not so much like, ooh, these are unsavory characters, but it's like, ooh, this is the place where the the top hobnobs come to like rub shoulders with dangerous people. Because as per our agreement, there's no violence in the inn itself.
Correct.
So people can come in and like experience the mobster lifestyle without having
like
to
we're respected. We're respected by Sliva. Like
the rule of the inn is there is no violence. There has been violence in the inn, but it is quickly taken care of by
the rule.
you guys.
Remember, right? The rule was they can start fights. They can't kill anyone inside our premises.
This is like the hotel and John Wick.
They can beat each other up, but they're gonna get kicked out.
Jamie, what would your orphan network that you've been establishing can help you with this? What would you be willing to pay them to help with this?
Ooh, well, I don't have a whole lot of gold.
They're poor kids. It's okay.
Yeah, they don't need gold. Copper is honestly more than enough for them a lot of the time.
Well, what I would tell them is that, like, obviously, like, this place is still up for you guys to use anytime you want, all the time. So there's that. But then also just, like, yeah, I would give them a gold to share amongst themselves to get whatever they like.
All right. So you offer them a gold and then remind them of the luxury of the inn that they can use. And within the last 6 months of doing this, as this rumor started, as it's begun getting spread around Highwater, and as you begun to kind of work against it or work to shift the narrative, Jamie, here towards the end of the 6-month period after the Ice Festival, where you've had this influx of travelers and merchants and players and stuff like that have come in, it seems like the rumors about the inn are starting to shift a little bit. That yes, this is an inn that is respected by the CDL underbelly of Highwater, and you should check it out. It's pretty cool.
As a note, if once Arthur finds out, I don't know how long it goes on for, but once Arthur finds out that Jamie is paying the orphans to do this, Arthur covers it. He doesn't have. Jamie's not going to pay anything for it. Arthur will do that.
Arthur, are you going to continue to pay 1 gold?
Yeah, I'll cover the cost.
Okay, I'm going to say that you'll pay them 1 gold for each week. So,
4 gold.
I paid the first.
Yep. So I'm sorry, I'm doing the math here.
Lost Boy has
4 weeks. I'm terrible at math. We're gonna say it's 20 gold, Arthur, because I'm not doing math in my brain hole right now.
Okay.
19 gold, because Jamie covered the first month.
Done.
Or the first week.
The first week.
All right. So you guys have done a lot for your inn. It's a happening place. You've got a great relationship with Joel and his friends, keeping each other in business. All is well. And here we are on a cold winter month. There is a decent snowfall on the outside that is currently covering the streets of Highwater and covering the inn. A roaring fire radiates from a stone fireplace that's set in the tap room. And as you guys finish up for the evening, stacking chairs and cleaning up, you kind of attempt to huddle around the fire the best you can to keep out of the cold that, no matter what, just seems to seep into the very core that is, the inn.
Well, we are how many feet above sea level, so I'm assuming the air is thinner up there anyways.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
a valid point.
That is also. You're also over a lake as well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I mean,
all
granted,
of
the
it.
second,
actual the
the second layer kind of comes up to where the wall around the city ends, but like the breeze and stuff is still gonna cause some additional issues there. So, Sentinel, as you go to lock the front door for the evening to close out the tap room, it quickly opens. A beautiful blonde elf walks in, adorned in fine clothes and light armor. She wears a large brimmed hat with a feather in it. She quickly pulls off her hat, and you can see the roots of her hair have a certain blue to them. And we're going to go ahead and take our break for the evening, and we'll come back at, let's say, 9:15.
Well,
All right.
Welcome back.
What's up?
About that time. We're back.
About that time, baby!
All right, we are back, so we'll go ahead and jump right back in here.
As a note, for anyone that cares, it was like 219 gold that I gave to Gamar. And some extra with silver and copper. But it was a lot. I did convert my platinum to gold, though. So.
Speaking
it's just
of gold,
easier than...
What are we doing with the 200 extra? We never did.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask.
Tavern Fun, probably.
Tavern Fun.
Yeah.
That was a tavern.
Just in case anything happens.
Upgrading our tavern.
Using
we
it
only
for the
have 5
tavern.
servants, and we only we could probably think about putting on an addition someplace in the back, something cool. If there's land and stuff to take, maybe
we'll put in a shed for all of Darian's gardening tools.
There isn't that much land back there. There's enough for Darian to have his little herb garden, but if you built an extension, it wouldn't be anything to write home about.
Okay.
If you built, you'd have to build up.
I mean, we could add a small broom closet.
Can we build
that
down?
would basically be what it would be as a closet.
Could we build down?
Yeah, you probably could. You may
we are limited
the
in space,
integrity
though.
of the foundation, but you could try it.
We're
It'd
very
be
limited.
expensive.
Because we're going to be digging
Never
into
mind.
like.
I just say get fancier servants, and we could pay the servants more.
Well, so the servants
say,
are
like,
paid by
fixed
the
wage.
guild.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll pay them more. We'll give them gold on the side.
They will refuse to take it from you. Because
So honestly,
that
it
is
might not
what
be a bad
the-
idea to hire some more servants. Especially like one or two
could
that I can train up in the gambling hall
We should-
and not have to constantly be supervising over there.
Well, we should establish like a head servant that would respond to like VIP guests, since we're having like the hobnobbing top people that they would serve, specifically those groups of.
Ooh, can we pay to put on a concert? Chicken Palooza, Cluckaroo. Okay, come on, give me something.
I'm trying to think. I don't got.
Electric Chicken.
I don't have any
Electric,
band
yeah.
names.
Burning
Nothing
Fowl.
Sing the blues.
Burning Fowl or something.
Burning Fowl.
I mean, you could just
And
call them the
we on our
Eagles.
little street.
Am I still made
A
with
giant
200
chicken
gold?
effigy.
The Eagles.
Instead of the
Are we
Eagles, the
just having-
chickens.
Are we just having Ethan indiscriminately settling the 200 gold into upgrades, or am I putting it on a sheet?
Yeah, I think
to say
that's
we're
the
holding it?
kind of.
Okay, so DM,
Yeah.
200 gold we are spending on upgrading the inn in various ways.
Okay. With your 200 gold, I will say you were able to get 2 more servants,
Nice.
which obviously that will then work into your monthly costs as well. And you are able to upgrade your tables and chairs into something a little nicer than what you had before.
Nice.
Oh man, now we got
So the tap
mahogany.
room-
Let's go.
The tap room is of a higher standard.
I'd also like to spend some of that gold on like the wares needed to begin brewing our own stuff.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because
so-
you said you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll say, Arthur, you're able to buy yourself kind of a brewer's kit that you can keep in the back in the kitchen, and you can start experimenting with your brewer ability if you'd like. Actually, go ahead, give me a check on those tools, on those brewer's tools, which you are proficient in. So you'll just add your proficiency bonus to this roll.
Awesome. Okay, so that is just a 7 then.
Arthur, you are beginning to concoct some type of drink. Once it is done, we will figure out how it is.
Okay.
It's a setup, probably not great.
Never mind. I was going to do something else, but it doesn't make a whole lot.
Man,
So all of this obviously happened in the few days before this elf guest of yours has arrived. which I have art.
Oh,
Ooh, art.
I have to transition.
So there's some art. That's what she looks like. That's with her hat on.
Bring a gem.
Not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm sorry.
It should be added to your journal anyways once it's revealed. So
it is.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice, Matt.
Mind.
You aren't even in roll 20.
I know. I'm a bad boy.
So she has removed her hat. As I said, she has blonde hair, but she kind of has roots of blue, from what you can notice. She sort of steps in. You guys have kind of just closed, minus the people, or we're about to close, minus the people that are staying in the inn, which at this current moment in time is no one besides the orphan kids upstairs who have opted to. She kind of looks around for a moment, kind of sees the small gambling area, sees the bar, sees the giant chicken behind the bar. Everyone kind of just, well, actually, Sentinel, you're the one that went to lock the door. Sees the giant chicken in front of her, and she just kind of stops and goes, huh. Well, now, he wasn't lying. This place isn't too bad.
Yeah, we've cleaned it up a little bit. We put in some hard work. But we're closing for the night, so I don't know if I'd have to check with the rest of the team, see if there's any places open if you're looking for somewhere to stay. I don't know if we have a room or not.
Every room's open.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, if you heard him in the back, Arthur, he likes money, so I mean, if you're paying enough, it seems like he'll give you a spot to sleep.
Wonderful. She steps on over to the bar, pops her hat down under the counter, and takes a seat. Is there any one of you that's behind the bar counter that will occupy the bar counter? So Arthur, you kind of step up. Yep. So Arthur, you step around from the kitchen to the counter, and she says, "You guys still serving any?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You guys still serving any drinks or anything?"
Again, like I said, if you're paying for a fellow hat connoisseur, I'm going to take my hat off and plop it next to hers, which also has very large plumage hanging off the side of it.
Crazy.
Good style, I guess. Well, I'm looking for a room for a wife. Little Boogly Bear over there at Pazzo's Pizza told me you might be able to help me out a little bit.
You talking about Dale?
Joel.
Boogly Bear Dale.
Good
hey,
man. I don't think we've had, I guess, DM, clarify, have we had, permanent, I don't say permanent residents, but, long-term stays at our inn before?
No longer than probably a week or two.
How long are we talking?
Month, 2, till my business is done.
Well,
Business.
I can give you the going rate. It's not going to be much of a discount for an extended stay. If you're looking for something cheap, that's not us.
Well, why don't I pay with this? I think it'll cover food and lodging for the next at least 2 months. From her small knapsack at the side, she plucks out a green gem that she sets onto the counter. And Arthur, as you pick it up and examine it, you realize that this gem is probably worth about 100 gold pieces.
That should do it. And I will take said gem and pocket it.
Wonderful. Now, if you don't mind, and the kitchen isn't closed, I don't partake in the pizza on the other side. Doesn't do well with my stomach.
That's a shame.
That's great.
If you have any food or drink, though, I would like a quick dinner. I spent too long talking to Dale and Joel over there, and I'm quite hungry.
Oh, I can see if I can scrap something together for you while what remains back there. Can't promise it's our best, but you'll get better tomorrow.
Perfect. Also, I imagine that the amount that I've paid will be the nicest room that you have, correct?
I can assume so. If not, I'll kick myself out and you can have my room.
Sounds wonderful. I appreciate it.
I'm going to walk to the back and see if the cook is even still there. If he's not...
The cook is not still there, Arthur. You would have to prepare it.
Yeah, I'll throw something together.
All right. Today you served kind of like a warm... or a slow-cooked roast beef that was lightly shaved with mashed potatoes, a side of vegetables, and a brown gravy that was slathered over the beef and the vegetables. Sauteed onions and mushrooms on top as well. So you're kind of able to bring this back together, and it's more of the scraps, but you set it down in front of your elf patron. And There's
like I
a couple
said,
different.
It's kind of you kind of said a late time, so this is not the best example of our food, but
I'm used to traveling, so gruel and everything. You know how it goes.
fair enough.
And she starts eating. Points to one of the barrels behind the bar counter and says, "I'll have whatever that is as well."
I will turn around and tap her off.
It's a pear mead. Provide fresh
I'll
last
let her-
week from the Brewers Guild.
And I will let her know that it is a pear mead from the local Brewers Guild, and slide it over to her.
Yep. So she takes it and begins eating, begins drinking, kind of in silence, and you guys can go about your business if you'd like.
Great. Well, I'm gonna clean.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
finish
right.
cleaning up the.
I'll stick around
Handling.
and kind of see if she appears to be like scarving herself, or if she's like delicately eating enough to where she could hold a conversation. But if she's
She's delicately eating where she could hold a conversation. So Darian and
Do
Darby,
I have
you
any
guys.
patience?
I'm sorry.
Do I have any patience? At the
At this
moment?
time of night, yeah, I'll say you have a patient. Jamie,
And I'd
probably
just be
someone who
doing
got into
that.
a scuffle, a nighttime scuffle on the first layer. Friends brought him up there. Have you set a broken leg?
Yeah, I do that.
Sentinel?
What's going on?
What would you like to
He's
do
enveloped in
here?
his food.
Just hanging out, eating whatever, like late night snack.
All right,
Sentinel's
you'll be
minding his
hanging
own business. Just
You'll be hanging out with
Sentinel
Just
Arthur.
in the corner
Minding his
eating
own
popcorn or
business.
something.
You'll be hanging out with Arthur then. So this elf is just eating, and Arthur, you're kind of just standing there, and Sentinel's there with you as well. He's just like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, you seem pretty comfortable with. You said Dale and Joel over at Pazos. What brings you to Highwater?
Oh, sometimes I just travel around a little bit, here and there. I'm a treasure hunter by trade, you could say. Met Joel a couple years ago, and he helped me out with some stuff, and I've known Dale forever.
Wow, Joel helped you out
Interesting.
with something. That's probably an arrangement of words I've never heard put together in a
You
sentence
know,
before.
he kind of gets a bit of a bad rap, Boogly Bear there. He seems to know everything all at once and nothing at the same time. It's incredibly adorable and horribly amusing.
Oh, well, I can say I have heard that sentence before. Not the incredibly amusing part, but the idea that he knows everything and nothing all at the same time.
Oh, I'm sure you've heard it from Dale. He's the one who told me.
That would be the person. So you
Oh,
see, if you're buying a room for quite a long time, finding treasure in the area or settling down?
Bit of a house call there to Pazos Pizza, and just kind of taking in the rumor mill to see what I can scrounge up. A lot of times the winter festivals come and go, and people leave interesting things, and interesting rumors come to cities, and you pick them up a little bit.
Well, fair enough. Our inn probably will fit that appetite of yours. We have quite the mix of patrons in here, quite the reputation. So,
And that's what I've heard as well. Which is why I decided to choose this place over, say, the Highwater Inn and Spirits. I mean, yeah, they've got the location and all be next to the entrance, but the real heart of information and rumors, those usually end up in the middle of the city, if you ask me. Where are my manners, by the way? Tetra Crestfall. Nice to meet you.
Arthur Wick, pleasure is mine.
And who else do I have the pleasure of enjoying the company of tonight?
Well, that big bird standing over there, staring at you and unable to make any conversation, is Sentinel.
Sentinel's just like, hey, just eating like little bar, nuts and
Millet.
yeah.
I'll point over at Darian, who said he was cleaning, and introduce Darian Kipps. That is Darian Kipps, another one of the owners. The person sitting over there with the other nice hat, who won everybody else's money this evening, if you were in earlier, is Darby. And then I'm not sure you've had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Jamie Watts, who is working on a patient downstairs at the moment.
I had heard that there was a clinic somewhere here on the second layer. Interesting to know that it's here at the inn. Well, I guess if I stub my toe or something, I can go and see him.
That would be accurate. He typically takes patients who are a little bit more banged up than stubbing their toes, but I guess you could ask him
sarcasm.
about it. For sure.
So how does demon folk like yourself end up in the inn business? You seem to have a bit more of a what's the word I'm looking for?
Pirate?
Harsh disposition.
Well,
Do you just say pirate?
yeah, just
from
shout
the other...
pirate from the gambling hall.
He's a pirate guy.
Seafaring disposition. How's that sound?
How does anybody really come into the ownership of an inn? I don't think anybody really wakes up and sits on their dad's lap and says, "Hey, Dad, I want to own an inn when I'm older." Just kind
Darian
of...
just having an existential crisis after he says that.
That's what I wanted.
You know, that is an excellent point. I don't think I ever sat on my own dad's lap and told him that I wanted to be a treasure hunter. It just sort of happens, doesn't it?
Yes.
Well, if you're a pirate then, or a seafarer, I'm assuming you found a fair bear of treasure.
I have.
Huh, nice. I'd be interested in hearing some stories sometimes if I find myself not too busy here around the city.
I could regale you quite the tale.
I bet I could as well. You know, sometime a dusk elf gal like me finds some pretty interesting things around here in Elyssia.
Dusk elf. Now, I was gonna ask, but I didn't want to be rude because I saw your blue hair hiding underneath the blonde locks you got there. Not too many dusk elves I've seen have been able to change the color of their hair like that.
Dye does wonder for a girl.
Fair enough.
A little bit easier to travel too. Not against my heritage, at least not anymore, but when you're on the road, lone gal by herself, then sometimes you have to be a little careful. So I also carry these, and she kind of flashes you 3 pistol holders and the holder for a longsword.
I'm gonna look over at Darby at this point, and then kind of do one of these towards Arthur and teacher him.
Great mind. Great minds think alike, and I will also kind of brush back my coat and reveal my pistol holders.
Impressive. You know who's absolutely afraid of guns? Joel. He won't even touch one of them. Not too long ago, maybe a year and a half ago. What'd you say?
I said there's probably a laundry list of things that man is afraid of.
Oh, immensely afraid of everything. His own shadow, actually, sometimes. I'm amazed he's not afraid of the own pants he puts on in the morning. He's such a boogly bear.
Not the words I'd say, but fair enough.
Call him Boogly Bear whenever you see him. He loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Yeah,
I'll make
I don't
sure.
think I even call my greatest friend Boogly Bear.
Well, can't say I want to get punched in the face by Dale or Joel.
Well, don't call Dale Boogly Bear. Dale isn't a Boogly Bear. He's Dale.
I suppose.
Well, I have had a long night. I have been out in the snow for quite some time, and if my room so happens to have it, I'd like to take a nice long bath tonight.
I will reach below, I believe, the bar counter to where we would keep the keys to the rooms, and I will toss her the most executive suite that is currently open.
It'd be on the 4th floor. It would be a double room with a private bath, basically.
I'll toss it to her. Have a wonderful
I look
evening.
forward to our tenant-renter relationship, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Y'all have a good night. Good night, Arthur, Darian, Darby, Sentinel. Hope things fare you well this evening.
Good
She
night.
grabs her hat and makes her way upstairs.
And after she leaves, I'm gonna go over to the bar, look at Arthur, and give him some of the eyebrows. You guys give me shit about a little fairy all the time.
I was gonna say, not all of us are you, Darian. Not every lady who gives us some out of attention wants to marry me. I'm sorry.
She's got
I'm gonna
guns.
come downstairs.
I mean, she's basically you.
What now?
She's guns. She's got guns, and she's a treasure hunter. What more do you want, Arthur?
Who's got guns and is a treasure hunter?
Oh,
we have a
tenant.
long-term
Yeah, our tenant for the next 2
End of
months.
shifting.
An end of shift cola. Yeah, we have a long-term patron, and
I will produce
think.
the gem that she paid with, and put it
Would
on the bar.
you look at that?
Pretty nice gem.
It's an emerald. He said it was green gem, so I'm assuming an emerald. He said it's worth over 100 gold. So.
Can I do an investigation check on it?
Go ahead.
It's fake, and we just kick her ass out.
Oh, I know if it was fake. I know fool's gold.
It's 18.
So Jamie, you inspect it in the way that you've learned to inspect things, being on the streets, and you can tell it is a genuine gemstone.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is just worth a lot of money.
Darby, you think you can fence this pretty quickly?
I can try.
I'm going to talk to him.
All right.
Darby will take it.
All right, you guys have a 100 gold piece gemstone that was paid for long-term use of the Zafar Inn.
And I will, Arthur will make a mental note of everything we have given her as a deduction of that 100. So if at any point she does go over in what she wants, I will then be asking for.
If she's here for probably 2 months, you'd need more money.
Okay. I figured.
Especially since she's taking like the executive suite.
Right.
Yeah, the most expensive room in the whole inn.
I'd have to look it up and beyond, but I think if you wherever you stay, like I think it can be like 10 gold a night or something, depending on the size of the room.
Really high, really fast.
Even if it was like a gold a night, I mean, it would still be a fair amount.
Especially with food and drink being added.
Yeah.
All
right, so
definitely covers her for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Be interested to know what kind of business she had with Joel and Dale, if she's fencing something for them.
I mean, she did say that she's known Dale forever. Never really heard Dale talk about anyone.
Everybody's got their own business, though.
I know. But...
Oh, for sure, but if she's a treasure hunter...
No, it's an interesting story to tell, and you know someone who's a treasure hunter.
I think it would be cool to find treasure.
I used to be a treasure hunter. Kind of still am in a way, but not in the sense you're thinking. She's looking for treasure that currently has no owner, or I presume currently has no owner. I used to look for treasure that had owners that I could take it from. A little different.
I want to find the former treasure.
One person's treasure hunting is another person's grave robbing, and it all depends on who you talk to.
Yeah. That's why I prefer to just take it from the source.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess. Would
Well,
stealing be
be
better
given
than
it from the
grave
source.
robbing?
Well, depends. How do you feel
My
about
dad
grave
would
robbing?
tell you, my dad would tell you that anybody who's dumb enough to lose their stuff deserves to take it. Dead people aren't particularly smart, and thus, it's not like they're using it.
Sounds like your dad and I would get along.
So is grave robbing better
I
than
doubt that.
stealing?
Again, it depends on how you feel about grave robbing.
Depends on how you feel about grave robbing.
Yeah. If you think grave
Just
robbing
like
is terrible, then probably worse
no.
than stealing.
If you don't think grave robbing's that big of a deal, then it's
Then,
just
yeah,
a
it's way
really
better.
easy mark.
Yeah. Really easy, free stuff. They're not using it. What are they going to do with it?
I take stuff
Typically,
off of
in
dead
my
bodies all the
experience,
time.
grave robbers are people who have some sort of moral conscience, where regular robbers don't. They don't have particular hang-ups, I guess.
They want it, so they take it. They don't care how it affects you.
Philosophical conversations with Arthur and Darby.
Yeah. About stealing.
About
Not
stealing.
to mention ghosts.
Yeah.
Psychic imprints on stuff happen all the time.
Yeah, it's true. That could be worse.
Yeah, you could get cursed.
Yeah,
Maybe that's how you got
worse
those
for you.
antlers. Maybe you took something from someone's grave and didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Darian's critically thinking if he ever stole anything from anyone's grave. Don't believe I have.
You guys were in the Holy City for a day or two. You could have swiped
Maybe,
something
yeah.
you didn't mean to.
I don't think I took
That is
anything.
true.
I can tell you I have stolen things from plenty of graves, and I have never sneezed glitter
Yeah.
and floated.
Can't say I've ever
don't have-
floated
it's
from
not a-
allergies either.
It's not a medical thing, I can tell you that 100%. So
Yeah, people
I
just
mean,
right over
I still have antlers, so it's just.
Oh,
you can cut them off.
you know what, Darian? We need to get you that flu back. We
In
can create a new
6 months,
drink.
You didn't think to cut them off?
You can
I've never
sneeze
thought
into
to cut off my horns.
the
Why would
drinks.
I
I
do
still
that?
like them.
Get a floating drink. It'd be great.
Because you're a tiefling. He is a human. You're supposed to grow horns. He's not.
Well, I've
Is
grown
he a human?
accustomed
We
to
don't know
them.
that. I don't know either
I
of his
do.
parents.
I have medically looked this kid up and down. If he was something other than a human, I would know at this point. Humans
know.
have particular things in particular places.
I do not. And no, either of Darian's parents. His father could be a fawn for all I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's enough of that. Calling it a night.
Okay.
And you guys say that I'm odd. I
No.
never knew
Yes, we
grave
said
robbing
that.
was so common among this.
I never
grave
said we
robbing is
did
like a
grave
really easy
rob.
way to
Just
get
saying,
stuff.
you know.
No, I
think I've
grave
told you
rob all the
before,
time.
but I'll tell you again.
Arthur and Dr. Watts both have said that that's just a common thing they do.
I mean, I've probably done
yeah.
it a few times too, if I'm being honest. But
Is that no? Let me be honest.
That's
It's not a
three.
problem.
If there is a crime that you know of, I have probably done it.
It's not a
Great.
Would I do it?
I don't know if the law agrees with that.
Jamie.
I just. No.
Do you have a free pass or something?
His moral high
Well, a
ground
lot
is
of times-
interfering with the logic in his brain.
Yes.
A lot of times you can take stuff for medical purposes, like body parts and things of nature. How do you think places get cadavers? A lot of it, they just take them.
But that doesn't mean it's not a crime.
Makes sense.
Never been arrested for it. Never been even. No one's ever
There
chased
are
me
pl-
away
there
from
are-
doing it
There are
either.
plenty of things that I have done that I've never been arrested for, Doctor, and that
No.
does not qualify them as not crimes.
Not every place has laws against grape. Some of it's
Fair
just a moral thing that you don't do.
Fair enough.
And obviously, if the family has something up there, usually they'll put like a cage over it or something.
All right. As you guys have this deep philosophical conversation about what is illegal and not illegal in the realms of grave robbing in Elyssia, the joys of conversations that segued from pretty elf girl walks into bar, Darian says, "Yo, Arthur, you should hit that," and now we've gone to grave robbing. The joys of conversation have overtaken.
You got a
the
bunch of thieves and rogues. What do you expect?
And you guys go to sleep or go to bed for the night. Have a nice long rest. Not that it matters because no one used anything. Over the next few days, you begin to notice some changes around the area. Obviously, Tetra's arrival at the inn has added an extra element. She seemingly leaves early in the morning, comes back late at night, has dinner, usually prepared by you, Arthur. Usually she comes in right before you guys are ready to close up shop, has whatever meager dinner you're able to put together, has a brief conversation with you guys, pleasantries about her day and things like that. She says, "I'm tired, I'm going to go take a bath." And she heads upstairs, only to basically repeat the exact same thing the following morning. On the other side of things, on the Pazzo side, you notice that in your dealings, Joel appears to be more uppity, more short, more spastic than normal. Merle seems distant and relatively quiet most of the time. And Dale mostly just looks frustrated with it all. You guys want to have any conversations there over the next course of the couple days, or conversation with the teacher?
I would ask Elise what was going on with my orphan network.
Yeah,
I would
probably
ask
same.
her
Okay.
what's going on.
If I ever see her, I'd ask her what's going on.
I will say Elise is hanging out in your medical shop getting some stitches, Jamie, because she fell and skid her arm, cut it open.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you ask her this question, and she goes, "Oh yeah, you mean Tetra? Yeah, she showed up a couple days ago."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we had a bit of a run-in with her. Oh, look, a couple years ago. Lots of weird stuff went down between her, Joel, and Marilli. I don't know if it's really my place to say there, but I think everyone's cool. But things get a little weird when she's around.
Weird how?
Marley doesn't like it, that's for sure, and Joel just kind of gets all flustered.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Sure there was some sort of romantic relationship at some point. Joel tends to be doing
Not
that.
quite. So this is actually kind of what ended up happening. So Joel got hired to cater a big ballroom or ball in Pragla for the royal family. Because, like, the princess really likes all the pizza and stuff. So we all went out there
Yeah.
and everything. And Joel had gotten this magical stone item as like a tip because these people came in and couldn't pay for their pizzas. Well, that magical stone was important to Tetra. So she seduced Joel and stole it from him and held him at gunpoint. But I'm pretty sure Marily thinks that something else happened there, and no one can convince her otherwise.
But it's not your place to say.
Not my place to say.
I got you.
She winks too.
I understand. We're having these conversations in Thieves' Camp. No one else understands what we're saying.
Tetra's pretty cool,
Yeah,
but
does.
watch out for her, because so here's the really funny part. Don't tell anyone I said this, but so like Dale and we couldn't find Joel next day after the party, and so we went to his room and we opened it. He was hogtied, butt ass naked, because she had held him at gunpoint after he took his clothes off and stole the gem.
It seems like something that would happen to Joel. Yeah.
It was hilarious.
So, well, I'm glad that they're all getting along now, or at least are civil towards each other.
Kinda. I don't really care too much, though. She's cool to me, us being Dusk Elves and all, and if Marily's got a problem with it, well, she should just suck it up and talk to Joel.
Yeah, I would agree. It's always better to have conversations with people you're supposed to have conversations with, but it's good to know. Did she ever let slip of what she was looking for?
Oh, I don't know, some treasure here around Highwater or something. She said it to Joel, but I was only half paying attention.
Oh, okay.
There's
Do you think
supposed
you
to
could
be
pay
rumors.
more attention for next time?
Sure, I can do that. I know there's supposed to be some rumors about some hidden treasure or something that's in the sewer system or whatever, but it's just some dumb rumors.
Huh. The same sewer system that had monsters that crawled out of it and while people were street sweeping?
Yeah.
Is that monster thing a regular occurrence?
It maybe happens once a month.
Interesting. Okay, so there's a potentially treasure in the sewers. We have this girl coming here to find it. Clearly, it's enough of a rumor that a treasure hunter is actually going to check it out. And, well, it's good to know.
I got you, boss. Don't tell
awesome,
Joe
yeah.
Don't tell Joe I called you. He'll get really mad.
Yeah, no, I won't tell anybody you call me boss. In fact, you don't have to do that. Yeah, if you want to pay a little bit more attention next time you're with them, I would appreciate it. I like to have, how I like to have my ears on as much as I can while I'm here.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do my best. I'll let Grizzly know too. Maybe I'll see if I can have him tailor for a little bit.
That actually would help a lot. We don't know a whole lot about her, but she's staying here for a while, and we already have a couple factions treating us gingerly, so I'd like to not make any waves if I don't.
Yep, no problem. I'll have Grizzly get on that in the morning next time she heads on out. I've been meaning on seeing where she's been going too, but I'm always so busy with the pizza place,
Yep, I get it. We all got a job. That's why every little bit of hands makes it all light work. A community, a group.
For sure. Do you have anything else for her, Jamie?
Finished Stitch.
Stitch is finished. Looks great. All right, Elise thanks you.
I would want to give her a new thing I've been trying. After seeing Arthur working so hard on doing brewery stuff, I was gonna work with my herbalism kit to see if I can't get like small pain relief stuff for people.
Are you
Little
proficient
packs that
in?
they chew in.
Yeah, are you
I am.
proficient in? So Jamie,
am.
over the last few months where you guys have been in the inn, I'll say you've managed to come up with something that can serve as kind of a pain relief supplement.
Yeah. As this begins my journey towards what I'm gonna be doing.
Towards inventing aspirin.
I'll say it's good. It's effective for about 20 to 30 minutes. It's not an overly long time, but it helps.
I wouldn't want it to be more than that. Just for while you have stitches.
Yep.
Only when you need to not be in pain.
Yep. It might not help against someone getting like stabbed, but you know, like cosmetic surgeries and stuff, definitely.
Yes.
All right, so with Elise thoroughly numbed up and stitched up, she heads on out after imparting this information. Jamie, do you let the rest of the party know what you know, or at least to some capacity?
Oh yeah, I think I would. I think we've been talking about on and off about our various guests, and we have a treasure hunter guest that's friends with the only other people we really kind of hang out with on Cluck Cluck Boulevard. So we're gonna.
One of the things I'll mention after Jamie kind of reveals that information is that we might want to keep what we know close to the chest and tiptoe around the situation, because if there's A, treasure in the sewers, B, someone looking for it, C, that someone has stolen treasure from somebody in the past, and we are a spot that Sliva's gang hangs out in, she might be using us as a way to get information from Sliva's gang as to where this treasure might be, because it might be his, because that's where he lives, is in the sewers.
True. I didn't think about that.
So we kind of are the central connecting point of all of those kind of diverging paths. So I would hate for Sliva to think that we are helping somebody steal from him. That's just what I'm thinking. Just an idea.
Right. Good idea. So with Arthur,
everybody. I don't mean to cut you off. So I think kind of as a goings on, that we don't necessarily keep it a secret that we have a treasure hunter among us. I'm not just going to go around and saying there's the treasure hunter, but I'm like, if we want to kind of start the rumor mill around the bar to let somebody know that there is a permanent resident, they happen to be a treasure hunter, just so people kind of know, because she didn't make it a secret, just so that way if Sliva's gang does show up, it's not like we're hiding anything from. Make sense?
Yeah.
I could just have the orphans do it. We don't even have to do it in the bar.
Perfect. That's great.
The Orphan Network is very capable of doing those type of things. And
that's what they do. They spread rumors.
Immediately.
Cool.
So after having this conversation with, or at least has this conversation with Jamie, not super late. The bar is still open, still has quite a number of patrons in it, but it is late enough. It's probably after 9 p.m. and your guests will probably be returning in about 2 hours. And the locals are starting to kind of settle into their nightly routines at this point. And the front door of the Zafar Inn opens, and in walks Marilli, looking like someone pissed in her cereal. And she walks in, sits down at the bar, and just looks at you, Arthur, who I'm assuming you're manning the bar still, and just says, "She's not here, is she?"
My knowledge is she's not. She's come until later. Yeah. No, she doesn't come until later. I'm just gonna walk over to one of the kegs and begin pouring
whatever the strongest one of those are, please.
As I begin to fill up whatever I was filling up, I pour that out into another glass for myself, and then go over to the stronger one for her, whatever the stronger one is.
So Arthur, you walk it on over and you set the. Do you give her a full glass or do you give her a half a glass?
Oh no, I top it off, and as per what I have been trained, I never hand a glass to anybody. I set it on the bar and I slide it over to them wherever they.
You slide it, and she kind of reaches out to grab it, misses it, and it just slides and hits the wall on the other side. I got it, and she just gets up, grabs the glass, returns, sits down, and just takes a single drink of it. Sets it down, and you can see the visual conflict on her face as she's trying to look like she's enjoying this, but it literally just tastes like straight battery acid that she just slurped down her throat. So there's just this visual like disdain imprinted on there.
It's not supposed to taste good.
It's good. It's good.
It is.
All right.
She just keeps drinking.
And I do not press. I will man the bar, kind of keep an eye on her, see if she's willing to talk or appears like she's wanting to say something. But if not, I'm not going to press her.
After about 3/4 of the way through her incredibly strong drink that she has proceeded to down in like 5 minutes, Merle sits it down, her cheeks flushed, and she looks over to you, Arthur, and says, "You know, I don't get why she has to come back to Highwater again, you know? There's a bajillion other places she could go, a bajillion other treasures that she could take, but no, she has to come to Highwater. She has to bother me. She has to bother me, and she has to bother Pathos, and she has to bother Dale and Joel and everyone."
I presume you're talking about Tetra.
Who else would I be talking about?
I mean, she seemed
There
pleasant.
There are countless other
She's
people.
a fork-ton seductress harpy that steals and does horrible things.
Am I up from my?
Yeah,
patience
I'll
at
say
this
you're
point?
you're there, Jamie.
Is she gonna rob the
I'm gonna be like, oh my goodness, fork tongue. Wow, you didn't say anything about that.
Probably
Now we should be
not,
concerned.
but it is possible she could.
Yeah, we don't have anything too valuable. We just need to sell that gem. Do
Yeah,
we have a safe?
have we
Should
sold that
invest in
yet?
a
Actually,
safe?
It's been a few days. You've sold it for 100 gold at this
You
point.
fixed it.
oh, sorry. I kind of figured I did. I was going to ask
You
that
know what
actually
I
in a
have?
moment.
A bag of holding that I would sleep with.
Oh yeah.
That'll go into the bag of holding.
In
for our
in
community.
fairness,
Because
I do need less
still
sleep
got
than
urgent
you. So.
tendencies.
Do,
I have.
we want
I have.
to-
Yeah, you did.
Do we want me to write down what we have like in our communal fund, or do you want to record that, Jamie, since you've got the bag of holding?
I
How do
can
you wanna
start.
do
I
that?
can start recording it if you want.
Okay.
Let me
Great.
grab my thing. Yeah. So
Also,
we have
I'm also gonna grab a
100
Google Doc
gold
if we
now
need to.
in the communal thingamajigger.
100 gold plus
Okay,
whatever
good
you
to
decide to throw in there.
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that you have such a bad experience with her, but she paid her stay. We're not trying to cause any problems.
I'm not
with
saying
that.
you should kick her out. I just don't like that she's in Highwater.
I can understand that.
You know, I just don't get it. I don't get Joel. He was literally robbed blind, took something absolutely valuable from him. And yeah, I know it all kind of ended up working out in the end because it was important to Tetra and all that other stuff. But no one just pulls a gun on someone and is just like, hey, give me your stuff, bro.
So,
Is that right, Arthur?
Arthur
No
would
one
beg to
does that?
differ. I'm sure he's done
that,
that many
that has
times.
happened in the past. I've never said bro, but yes, that has happened in the past. But I have also not tried to invade that person's personal relationships either. I typically just take whatever I want from them and then
Leave.
move on. But
Yeah.
it does suck when somebody wrongs you and then comes back to rub salt in the wound. I'm sure Jamie can relate with that with our encounter 6 months ago.
Good old deaths.
Yeah, I don't think Des has left anyone tied up
Maybe not
but naked
physically.
in a room.
Yeah,
Maybe not physically, but financially he might have.
no, he definitely does.
Yeah, no.
You're talking about that Destiny healer guy?
Oh
Yes.
He's the worst.
Oh. Elise has a couple of his trading cards.
Yeah, I'm
cards?
sure. He does a lot of weird stuff, and all of it
He would have
is
trading
so.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's not that
much.
surprising.
It's so great.
Wonder how easy
They're just
counterfeit
like
those
male-
are.
Has everything
They're like
to
male
do.
model like calendar pictures of him and like just like with his shirt ripped open.
Like
With this
all the
radiating
trading cards
glow
are just
coming
him.
off of him.
Holy
Yep,
water.
it's just him.
Yeah. He has an entire Magic's the Gathering style game where all the cards are just him.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fantastic.
Oh,
I
man.
remember seeing that 2 winters ago, being like, really?
I don't have, I guess.
But
much to
hey,
say
it's
about
not like you need to rip everybody's funds away from them. It's not like they needed to eat.
it. Oh, dang it. Darian's not at his desk. I was gonna. I'll give him a second because I have some. Merle's got to say to him. So.
Let's see.
So yeah, Destiny's trading card set. You know, just a whole. You know, you can go out to your local general store here in Highwater. They sell them in pre-built like deck packs that you can buy a starter deck for.
No, they gotta be tarot cards. They gotta be like a themed tarot card set. Because his name's Destiny. Like,
Yeah.
that's just too good.
Oh, there we go. He's got a whole line of cards: trading cards, playing cards, tarot cards, Ouija boards.
Oh,
Man,
God.
do you think he'd sponsor the
I don't know if
gambling
he would
hall?
have a Ouija board.
No Ouija boards.
No, that's too
I don't think
demonic
he
for
would
the
have a
goddess's
Ouija board.
plan.
That's on the other way.
True.
All right.
That's the other bit.
All
All right, so
Alright,
Darian
Darian.
is back. So as
Welcome back.
Yes. Sorry about that.
as Marili finishes her drink and then attempts to slide the mug back to you, Arthur, and just flings it as hard as she can. Give me a dexterity save to see if you catch it.
Here we go. I'm good at these. Oh, not good enough. 10.
Just barely good enough. You managed to, at the last second, reach your hand out and catch it before it goes careening off the side of the counter and
Maybe-
shatters against the floor.
Maybe,
I almost had to grab the
don't
broom.
Throw those.
Yeah.
I have a question, maybe, Darian, for you. Because, I don't know, you got, like, that whole relationship with that fairy and stuff. And Elise and I have taken bets on how that works functionally, and we can't figure it out at all.
Oh, no.
I don't have a relationship with a fairy.
They haven't been together for some time now.
I
Yeah.
know!
We never were.
It's like Joel. You're the exact same kind of guy like Joel. You lead a girl on, and then you just leave them.
There it is.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't believe you,
Guys
Darian.
are all the same.
I know. They're
Guys
all
are
so
all the same.
terrible.
Marili, have you ever had this conversation with Joel?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to have the conversation with him? Anytime I try to talk to him, it's pizza this and pizza that, and I have a small dick.
So regardless of whether or not he said that, I'm pretty sure you could get him to talk to you if you let him know how serious it was.
Yes. I guarantee you he'll listen if you make it apparent that it's a serious problem.
I don't even know if I want to talk to him.
That's
Well-
fair. I mean, the only person who can answer that is you.
Yeah.
As much as you came over here for answers, the only answers you're going to get out of the bottom of that glass you threw at my head.
I can't throw it at you. She slid it on the bar.
I know. Oh, I know. I'm just being sarcastic.
This is hard.
Indeed.
Never said it was easy.
You know, things were a lot easier when he was the champion and the stupid pizza thing wasn't even a thing. And I literally can't believe I'm even saying that right now. Darian, what should I do?
I'm always a fan of an open line of communication.
Are you?
And regardless of him saying pizza this, pizza that, I have a small dick. Just raise your voice over it until you know that your voice is being heard, or at least let him know that he's not acknowledging what you're saying, and that's a core problem right there.
I could try that. I've asked Dale, and Dale just says I should take a sword and put it to his throat and talk to him, but that seems excessive.
It seemed to work for Tetra, huh?
It's one way to do it, but she doesn't like Tetra.
You know, but I mean, she was able to get what she wanted out of Joel. A simple gun to his head.
I don't want to hog tie him naked. Or do
Well,
I?
I mean,
Don't
about to say, I mean,
Don't
maybe
knock it
not
till you try it.
maliciously.
Listen, she wanted the gem, and she got it. You listen.
Arthur, I will have a
We-
second drink, please.
Oh,
We've
boy.
all
Okay.
wanted the
And
gem
I
at
will-
some
I will
point.
pour
We've
her,
all wanted
something-
the gem.
Very weak, pretending to fill it up with the strongest thing again.
All right, so you pass it to Marili, and she very quickly drinks this one and ends up in a more drunken stupor. It's very clear this girl does not drink in any way, shape, or form, and needs to be helped back to Pazzo's Pizza when this is all done and
got
over
it.
with.
I'd probably offer her a room here if she wants, if she doesn't want to stay over there.
No, I refuse to stay where that harpy lady stays.
I'll walk her home because it'll be faster.
Yes, the to 10 minutes it takes to walk her from the Zafari to Pazos Pizza now takes 2.5 to 5 minutes.
It's like it goes from 1 minute to 30 seconds.
Yeah, really. Yeah, you gotta get that mileage out of those backgrounds, man. Those background feeds don't come up often.
He skips every other cobblestone.
Throws her over his shoulder and sprints as fast as he can.
That's what I do.
All
I'm
right.
like, hold on, spider monkey, like Twilight.
Yes. All right. So Jamie, you help an inebriated Marilli up and take her over to Pazos Pizza to Dale, who is kind of just like, oh God.
Oh, I was gonna take her home, but yeah.
Pazos Pizza is her home.
Oh, I didn't know she lived
Yeah,
there.
they live. They most of them live above the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Dale's there, and he's just like, oh, good Lord, this is gonna be the longest goddamn month of my life.
Well, sounds like someone's a little jealous.
Question.
Yeah, what's up?
Now, I know we said we weren't going to do this, but since I'm already out, and I moved through the city pretty fast, it's been 6 months since I last heard about it. I want to see if I maybe just take the long way back around home and see if I can't spot any hooded people being hooded, just to see.
Sure. So after dropping Marilli back off to Dale, and him helping her in, Jamie, you kind of make your way back to the first layer, to Old Town. And you can tell it's Old Town because you kind of have to walk down into the city. It's actually a little lower than the first layer. And all of these homes are constructed like on top of each other because of Highwater's layout. They can't build out; they have to build up. And Old Town is just pieces of building upon pieces of building. Things don't look structurally sound. It's a mess of a slums. And as you do you kind of do a quick scan and walk through, and you don't see any hooded figures.
Okay. Kind of figured. I thought I'd keep it abreast of what's going on. Hopefully I have my orphan. I guess I'll turn around and come back.
All right. So Jamie, you make your way back to the inn. Anything else you guys would like to do tonight, or would you like to have another nice long rest?
I will tend to my herb garden and then go to sleep.
It is a lovely herb garden that you have tended to.
Thank you. I take a lot of pride in it.
Arthur's going to stay up a little bit and kind of, I guess, contemplate. He's going to try and figure out how to best, not say pray, but I guess his version of pray, to try to figure out, like, what's going on. He's had a lot happen to him before this 6 month span. It seemed kind of quiet in this last 6 months, and he kind of wants to believe that something is keeping him alive or has been looking upon him with his many encounters of death, and just kind of see if anything will reach out, and if not, he'll just go back to sleep.
All right. Arthur, you kind of do this soul searching in you to try and figure out your version of the religion or the goddess or what it means to still be around. And you're still searching. You cannot come up with any answers just yet. It's almost like there's this gaping black maw that's on the inside of your chest that you constantly gaze into every single night, and you can't seem to quite escape.
He said the funny Matt Mercer thing. He said
What's the
gaping maw.
Oh. Anyone else interested in doing anything before sleeps, or to bed we go?
Probably just making sure the camping hall's all cleaned up, looks good, everything's all set up properly, and then heading back to sleep.
All right. Sentinel?
Tonight's story night, I'd tell a regale a long story about a man trying to grow a long beard, and so that he could house his favorite birds, and he makes a little nest out of it, and that man now lives in a tower north of Dorder.
The children seem to actually really enjoy your tale. They're enthralled.
I love it.
Nice.
And the myth of the storytelling chicken spreads throughout Highwater.
Clark
Yes.
Boulevard, baby.
Clark Boulevard.
Just trying to bring more people to the inn.
So you all go to sleep. And the following morning, you awaken to something quite interesting. A large shadow envelops all of Highwater. As you open the door to the inn, the looming shadow nearly blots out the sun. You gaze up and see a grand flying ship resembling a boat that would sail on the ocean. Huge blades have replaced sails, and they spin in place. The ship seems to be tied down to one of the walls in Highwater. A large commotion erupts from the market square on the first layer.
So it looks like a pirate ship, but a flying.
It's a flying pirate ship held
Like
up by spinning blades.
style? Ooh.
Dang.
That's dope. But I'm.
That is awesome, and I
quick-
want one. But what is going on?
Is anybody like running by on the street that seems to?
There
have
seems
a
to be
vague
there definitely seems to be people making their way to the market square with this commotion. You can hear like music and cheering and a lot of like.
I'm gonna
loud
head
talking
that
and stuff.
direction.
Bam.
All right, so Jamie's like booking it.
I guess my question to you is: do you have like, is this something that's like odd? Like, is this something that we
Yes,
would have seen
very.
before? Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, so I will follow Jamie because since he typically moves mysteriously faster through the city than everybody else, so.
He just
Come
knows the
with
alleyways
me.
better. I will also
Come
follow
with
Jamie.
me, and we will run the Orphan's Gambit, the Urchin Speedway.
So you guys, I'm assuming everyone's going to the first layer here to the where the commotion is.
Mhm.
Oh.
All right. So you guys head out and make your way to the market square. And as you arrive there, you've noticed a large crowd is gathered. You fight your way through to get a better look and see a collection of scantily clad women in the center of the square. The guards are struggling to hold back the people as they try to get closer to the spectacle. The women throw objects of different sizes into the crowd. Darby catches one of them and sees that it's a disc-shaped object with the name Ansem Rictavio printed on it. A human male stands upon a constructed stage and riles the crowd. He wears elegant clothes, and there is a picture of our guy.
And props to Sam on all of this original
Yes.
art for all
Yeah.
these characters.
Yeah.
I just have the
All of this
list
stuff.
pulled up.
Look at
There's
this.
so many.
There's a lot of characters in there,
There's
yeah.
so many, yeah.
It's good 15, 20. And I'm sure more to come.
That's not counting the player characters either.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So
That's
this is the gentleman that you see on the
Very fancy.
on the thing. He's very chiseled, well-built man. Has a booming voice that calls out and he says, "My fair citizens of Highwater, you've heard the stories, you've heard the legends. Now you will witness the recovery of Highwater's lost treasure. And there could only be one who would find such treasure. Me, Ansem Davio, at your service. Not a puzzle or trap could stop me. You've heard, I discovered the lost Dusk Elf city of Rizaro that existed under Pregla. I uncovered the Amber Amulet from the Temple of the Goddess herself. I sailed the high seas to an island shrouded in mist and put down the Great Ape. Now I plan to add this mystery to my list of accomplishments."
Did he kill King Kong?
That's what he's claiming.
But
That's what he said.
He sailed to a mysterious island and put down a Great Ape.
He killed King Kong.
And he's got the Infinity Gauntlet, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, he kind of does.
He's holding the gems in his hand.
Yeah, he's got the Infinity Stones. He's got
I
time.
like both of our treasure hunting
space,
characters have
and
alternate
reality.
profiles with gems in their hands.
Well,
Hell yeah. Does anybody in the crowd seem to be like super enamored by this guy, or kind of like, oh yay, he's back, kind of?
No one's really like, yay, he's back, but there's definitely an excitement. Like, this is a well-known name. I will say Jamie, Darby, and probably Arthur a bit have heard the name Ansem Rictavio
Okay,
before. Famed treasure hunter.
but I caught like a gold disc thing.
Yes, you caught it's not made out of actual gold, but it's like a disc, almost like a little frisbee thrown into the crowd that has his name printed on it.
It's a calling card.
Oh, okay. Well, so I was gonna look it over and see what it actually is, but if it's just a little like trinket souvenir deal. I'm like, oh, cool. Got the big shots in our
The
town.
only
now.
way I know this guy is based off of like how you say things. Like, way to go, Sherlock. So it was just like, if you found something, like, hey, I found my wallet, you're like, way to go, Tavio.
Yeah, way to go with Tavio.
So I know he's a famous guy who finds things.
That's it. Darby, I will say you being ingrained in the Igorith gambling culture, you know maybe a little more. He is a treasure hunter, and the ship he flies, a flying pirate ship, is referred to as the Dusk Star.
Ooh, it's a fun name, actually.
It's too cool of a name.
I need to get me one of those, man. I need one. Imagine Darby flying around a gambling ship called the Dusk Star. Oh, man, that'd be great.
Let's see if he'll cough it up in a game of poker.
Hey, you never know when people get desperate.
So Ansem is on this stage. Literally, it looks like they've quickly put together this stage. There's like a backdrop that's got like a vestige, a tapestry of his face. He's kind of got his hand on like a table, and he's like doing this in the back of this tapestry. There's all these beautiful women around that just are very scantily dressed given the like time period and like the going, and they're throwing these discs into the crowd.
Can't believe they're showing their calves.
A little more than that.
How dare they?
Glorified bunny girls, I guess you could say.
Okay, well, then in that case,
I'm gonna be happy that there's another.
I'm just gonna be like, oh, I thought it was gonna be something interesting. I mean, the flying ship's pretty cool.
Flying ship is very cool. Yeah, no, it's just some dude.
A famous guy, mind you. Oh, but you know what? Hey, Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go tell him to come stay at the inn?
Oh.
Okay.
We should put him right next to Tetra.
Yeah.
Put him in a room right next to Tetra.
In the room across the hall.
Am I able to like get up to him? Does he just like?
You're a giant chicken. Just move people.
There's definitely a bunch of guards kind of blocking the way, Sentinel, but you can fight your way up. Like, I mean, not like push your way up to the where the guards are like, everyone stand back, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll get up to like the guard line, like right over there. And
there's probably a good like 10 feet between them and the stage.
Okay. So I just start waving my wings and Rictavio, I have a proposition for you.
As soon as he opens his mouth, I'm going to cast thaumaturgy on his voice, so it becomes like extraordinarily loud, like it just carries.
So Sentinel, you just all of a sudden have this booming voice,
crazy.
And the crowd is still really loud, so it you know it does carry. And you kind of see Ansem look over, and he kind of smolders at you like with that like rock smolder a bit, and he's like, "That is a giant bird." Said, bring him on over.
People really like
so I kind of
okay. They let you through, Sentinel.
Because
all right, so I get up to him.
Always get in.
Well,
yes.
Everyone just accepts that.
Yeah, I know.
So you know.
No, before you, as you start and you say, so you know, he immediately goes, yes, I've heard it all before. Wonderful fan. Love everything that you do. 1 second here, and he pulls out a pen and he quickly signs a thing and he plucks it in your beak as you're talking, Sentinel.
Yes. I take it in my beak and I stick it in my little bag under my wing, and I want to make sure that I have a couple plates in there that I wanted to save. You know, he seems like an important guy out here, and so you know I'm always one for some souvenirs.
Sure.
And I was like, you seem really cool. I'm a fan right now, new fan, I guess. But really, what I wanted to there's this place, this Far Inn. It's the who's who. You know, if you're in town and you're as beloved as it seems like you are out here, you know, we have the best food, the best service, the best drinks. You know, all the way around. If you stay. This is a Far Inn is where it's at. And I just want to, you know, first night, it's on us. And if you want to stay and hang out here, we got a wonderful executive room for you and a lot of good fun. we've got some gambling, we got great stories, great people, great conversations. It's the place to be.
So when he says great food, great place to be, the Zafar Inn, it's the place to be, all of those are like accentuated with like echoes with my thaumaturgy, like the best food. And then as soon as he says the first night is on us, it cuts. Like it just dead. There's no thaumaturgy, and then
The
he goes
first
back to
night is
it again. And then it goes back to complimenting it again. It goes back to like echoing. So
Ansem has heard all of your words, Sentinel, and he's looking relatively annoyed that you haven't left for whatever reason. But he quickly restores his face with his smolder, and he pats you on the head. He goes, "What a precious little chicken tendy you are. Now, I have everything that I need. Go ahead now. Thank you. You have your autograph. Now, who else would like an autograph from the great Ansem Rictavio?"
And I guess I just walk away. I gave my pitch, and I head back to the group, and I go, he seems like a nice guy. Maybe he'll come and hang out. I mean, he gave me some cool stuff, and I show them my autograph.
Literally just one of the discs Darby got with his autograph on it.
Nice.
Well, maybe we can hang it in the tavern or something.
that will not be hanging in the tavern.
Yeah, that's probably for the best, actually. Darby's just gonna toss his somewhere into the crowd. This guy seems like quite the character.
Spectacle, with the arrival of Ansem Rictavio and the Dusk Star, has sent Highwater into a frenzy. The guards are incredibly active today, and the average citizen is caught up in the glitz and glamour of having a celebrity here in the city, making the Zafar Inn have a pretty dead and slow night. Matt's being attacked.
Yeah, Matt's being accosted right
Don't
now.
attack me!
So as you guys return to the Zafar Inn for the night and realize that there isn't too much business there, you see that Tetra has decidedly not gone out and done her usual, and is instead sitting or standing out on one of the inn's balconies on the second floor, arms kind of wrapped over the railing, just looking up at the big ship up in the air.
I am going to, hopefully I could have scooped one up from the ground or the runnings around of one of those stupid coins that was...
You got a disc. It's literally a frisbee.
Yeah, I'm going to toss the frisbee up to her on the balcony and just kind of say, it looks like you got some competition.
Does she catch it?
Competition? Something like he already found
it. She catches it. She stylishly catches it. Yeah, I can see that. A word of warning to the lot of you, don't get caught up in the glitz and glamour. Ansem's about 90% pomp and 20% ass.
That's 110, but okay.
Exactly. He's about 150 of a person.
Well, yeah, he's got the ego for one.
Fair.
He's got the ego for 6. And
maybe that's why he's in the airship.
She kind of in a huff pushes back and enters the inn. The rest of the day goes relatively uneventful, with Tetra hanging around the tap room and ordering a few drinks here and there, not really answering any more questions about Ansem, though showing her general disdain for the whole thing. At one point, Marilia attempts to come back to the inn to apologize about her previous night's antics, but upon seeing who's there, she opens the door and quickly turns around and leaves. The rest of the day goes by relatively uneventful. Slow business means an early, slow night. You all turn in. And the following day, bright and early, with the shadow of the Dusk Star still blotching out a large amount of the sun over Highwater, you wake up to the smell of dew, wintry dew, the sun slowly beginning to rise, just barely getting caught between where the wall and the ship kind of meet. A few winter birds chirp. And Darby, you emerge out of bed, you stretch, you begin to make your way down into the tap room. And as you reach the second step from the bottom, You are immediately lifted off your feet as a large fiery ball explosion blasts out the side of the inn, blowing shrapnel and wood and splinters everywhere out into the street. And that's where we end tonight's session.
Oh God! We just
spent 6 months on it. Whoever did that, they're going down. I'm taking everything they own.
My goodness!
I cannot let that stand.
We're gonna have somebody pay for this.
Oh, someone is paying for these repairs.
Is Darby okay?
Which side of the inn did it blow out?
We'll find out next episode.
Which side of the inn?
It's the front of the inn, over where Darby's gambling stuff is. That whole side wall just blew up.
So my herb garden is okay.
Your herb garden is okay.
The orphans in the attic are okay.
They also are okay.
Yeah, he's about his little herbs.
The orphan kids.
Just a last question: did it look like it was attacked from the outside in or inside out?
Outside in, as the explosion came inward, sending the shrapnel. Well, it sent shrapnel everywhere, but a lot of it came inside. Damage went from ground floor all the way up to the second floor and took out part of the balcony.
Damn.